Welcome. It's another week, another Centre Circle podcast. Firstly, as always, please like, subscribe, follow whichever platform you are absorbing this content. Much appreciated for all the support and follow so far. Let's go around the room. I'm John.
T.
Mark.
Isaac.
And like Keith.
And let's just get into it. All right.
Welcome back.
What are we getting?
Welcome back, by the way.
Cheers, mate. You know,
Looking
I wasn't really
refreshed.
gone. I was on the screen and that.
How was it? How was it?
Yeah, it was lovely. You know,
Sure it was.
30-degree heat and all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's what man needs. You know.
I heard that.
Yeah, say lucky for some. Pretty soon you're gonna be missing. You won't even be on the screen. You know what I mean? At least I did that. At least I dialed in.
He's going to his private island.
Who him? Yeah. They're the one where if you need medical care, you need to get on a boat.
Not this time.
Okay.
No, not this time. Yo, it's not the season, though.
Wow.
But yeah, you were saying. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, you ready to get into that, aren't you? So look, let's just get it out of the way.
What are we getting out of the way?
Let's just get it out of the way, man.
You know what we're getting at.
We're getting out of the way.
We're starting with the
Come on,
results
you
on the
know
weekend.
what-
Let's just do it. Let's
what's
just
coming.
get into it.
Which one is there? A
Yeah, just
particular
do
one
what you wanna
start
do.
with?
Let's
Let's
just
get
do
it
the
done
Arsenal
with.
0, Brighton 3.
Oh, you want to start there?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Oh,
let's just get straight to the jugular. I'm gonna start with the Arsenal troll in the team. Yeah, Isaac, talk to me about yesterday's game and how you saw it. What are your views on what yesterday told you?
It's the fact you're waiting, like you're actually thinking what to say, bro.
But just for context, listener or viewer, Isaac's been peppering us Arsenal fans on our mobile devices since the game finished. So this thoughtful pause
Makes no sense.
is
So I'm going to start with something I read today. Right?
Here we go. On Twitter.
Just the pre. This
Of
is the
course.
pre.
Of course.
It literally was on Twitter. Keith knows what I'm going to say. Because I was like, oh, this is good.
mm-hmm.
Someone asked, why is the SoundCloud app now black? And then someone else said, it's to mourn Arsenal's
Oh, days.
title loss. Title challenge capitulation.
Wow.
You know what?
Wow.
Big up yourself, because
Hey.
that was really good.
Wow.
Right?
That was.
But now I'm going to get into it.
Nah, I hate you
Right.
still.
Proper.
No, that wasn't necessary. Because I sweat turned black before yesterday. But anyway, go on.
I feel like winning a title for Arsenal, it's like having an argument with your other half, right? It's something that, winning is very rare. You just kind of have to just...
Oh my days. Oh,
Can I finish? I'm trying to get it out, right?
Wow.
All right, let me focus back on the camera.
Wow.
right?
This is a Liverpool fan, talking.
Bro.
It's very
That's what's
rare
nice, though.
that you actually win an argument with your partner. You know what they say, happy wife, happy life, right? So I feel like for Arsenal, it's always a case of being the bridesmaid and never the bride.
Wow. Like
Right.
you said, this has come from a Liverpool fan.
Man said never the bride. We're going to get to that.
Never the bride,
Never the bride.
right?
Well, we've
You
been the
know,
bride more times than you've been, but go through.
That's fine. But, I mean, when was the last time you won the title?
That's fine. Well, we've been the bride more times than you've been.
That's the point. He's just
No,
made the point.
leave him, bro. Leave him. Let him do his thing. Go on.
Because they got married more
Bro,
recently than we did.
even the way he's sitting, yeah.
Comfy. Real comfy. Anyway, no, all right, let's banter aside.
No, keep it up. Keep going.
Oh, don't worry, I got plenty.
There's enough in the clip.
Anyway,
There's enough.
we've got a strict clock today. but go on.
Exactly. Listen. Right. Watching that game, I was actually very disappointed in what I saw. You lot, Arsenal looked like absolute bottlers.
Just you stopped the jokes.
And the wicked thing is, right, if we go back to maybe the last episode, the episode before, I actually said, I don't think this is a bottle job. I actually was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and just say, nah, this is just City being City. This is just the behemoth that is City just running over their title challengers, their opposition, right? But watching that game, you lot just absolutely rolled over and allowed Brighton to just run through the Emirates. I genuinely thought that this was at the... I thought it was the Amex. I didn't think it was the Emirates.
We won 4-2 at that.
You won 4-2 at that.
Sorry to interject though. Brighton have won 3 of the last 4 games at the Emirates.
Do you know what's mad as well? Do you know what's real greasy as well? De Zerbi went on camera and said, "Oh, you thought that was us against Everton?
He did.
Wait till we roll out to the Emirates. We'll show you what's what." And they walked in that stadium. They got a 3-0 victory and they moonwalked out of there. Title challengers. I think you need a hard look in the mirror, mate. That's what I
Okay.
think.
Now that the 5th place team have finished talking. Go on. See, I'm going to hand over to you.
I haven't finished.
What are we talking about? The result, or are we just talking about everything?
Everything.
Season?
No,
Let's talk about everything because the result speaks for itself. The man of the defeat speaks for
The
itself.
result is the result, innit?
Yeah.
Over title charge over City's won it. Well done.
Can we clip that, please?
Yeah, clip
Thank
it. In the grand scheme of things, the whole season,
Yeah.
we've achieved a lot. We're all right. I'm
Fantastic.
feeling like we're all right. We're in a good space. We're in a good space heading into next season. We would have learnt a lot from this. We learnt a lot from the season before when we missed out on top 4. We went into this season on fire. Set the pace for basically the whole season. I think that's a win within itself. But we fell short. We fell short. We fell short. Obviously, we're coming up against City, but we fell short in squad depth. There's not enough quality on the bench, coming off the bench and stuff like that. Really.
What are your views on Mikel Arteta?
No, I'm with him. You can't ask me about Arteta. Arteta's a G.
Even I wouldn't call him that now.
Arteta's a G.
Yeah, no,
and this is what I keep hearing from a lot of pundits and people out there. Oh well, this was their best opportunity.
Wait,
next season,
let's get on to that.
everyone's gonna get better, and Arsenal are gonna obviously not get better. Then.
Bro.
We're not gonna go anywhere.
Been
We're
having
just
this
gonna stay here.
convo the whole
and everyone
day.
else is gonna get better. Chelsea's gonna get better. Tottenham's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Man United is gonna get
We're just
better.
going to stand still.
Liverpool's gonna
Imagine.
get better, but we're just gonna be like, oh yeah, we do nothing. Basically.
Really?
But to Isaac's point, sorry.
Realistically speaking,
Yeah.
do you honestly feel if everyone was back to their best, Arsenal would maintain this title challenge?
Wait, hold that thought, because we've not really explored the Arteta part in this, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the convo has pointed out those things. Yes, we've seen it. The depth of the squad is not where you need to be a team like City. The eventuality has proved that. The replacements off the bench, even if you look at it from a quality basis, even them just coming on, what that does to the system, how the team has to play slightly differently, etc. But I do think that there's a banter aside, there's a conversation to be had and in terms of Arteta's part in this and where his inexperience has shown. But again, that's not me having a go at him. He's what? This is his third year in management.
He is an expert.
Yeah, he's his third year in management.
It is what it is, isn't it?
And it's easy to look at these things in hindsight. And one of my friends who's a long time Arsenal fan. One second. One of my friends who's a long time Arsenal fan. He did point out, and he's been saying it all season, even when things have been going well. He's been saying that we regularly see Arteta's limitations. So in terms of game management, etc. Again, not to have a dig at him, but he's always called, even in the good times. I have to give him that. Even in the good time, he said, "Look, we've seen this game through, but at this point, you saw some of his limitations. You saw where that could have bit him, etc." Could he? We don't know that all behind the scenes. Could he have brought Kiwi in earlier, right? I removed some of that. That he's a step up from Holding in theory, right? I think you could argue his performances show that he's a little bit less of a liability. Could you have executed that earlier?
Just on that
Wait,
point, very quickly. Holding doesn't go down.
Yeah.
I was just
Clutching
about
his
to say
foot.
that. No.
So-
He was tying his laces, bro.
Well,
No,
either way,
yeah.
either way, Holding doesn't do
Gary
that. So
Neville is
anyway.
like- Planetary.
But that aside, yeah, the depth is obviously the glaring.
Yeah. And a more experienced manager maybe deals with that differently.
Yeah, it's hard when you look at City and look at their depth.
Yeah, no,
To say,
agreed.
I mean, credit where credit is due. In another season where Pep's not the manager of Man City, Arsenal win the title. Let's be honest. I don't
Well,
think.
we
I
could
don't
say-
think. I don't
we
think.
we could say
You don't think? You don't think?
if we had a couple players, let's say,
You think
Let's say
without Pep and City, Arsenal don't win that title?
well, we've basically collapsed within 4 weeks.
But who was the closest
4
team?
weeks.
Who was the closest team to you? outside. But remove City. Who was the closest to you?
The only team next to us was
No
City.
one.
Everyone
No
else won.
one.
Exactly. So you
No,
don't think if
But this is what I'm saying. This is why.
I'm with T on this.
This is why I don't think we're in a bad position at
We're not in a
all.
bad position.
no, I'm
Like,
just saying. My point is,
No, but
credit
Adam's
where
point
credit's
is,
due.
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
I think you lot. I agree with what you're saying.
Pep.
I agree with what you're saying in
Without
in
Pep.
regards to saying that Arsenal were in a good
It is Pep.
position,
Yeah.
and you know, hypothetically speaking, if there was no City and Pep,
Yeah.
I think you lot would have rolled.
Before I
Fair,
respond to
the
that point, Keith, give me your view on this. I've got a slightly different take on that one.
What on the
Like,
Pep thing or just
yeah,
the whole?
the Pep thing, but go on. Give me your view
Like,
in general.
if Pep's not there, Liverpool win multiple titles, Arsenal win the league this year. Like, that's just the reality of it. But
Are you shoehorning Liverpool in there? We're not talking about Liverpool.
no, but you talk about Pep.
We're talking about this
being
season.
there.
No, but the
This
fact
is
that
part
they
of the
lost
point.
2 leagues by 1 point.
Yeah. Like, I'm just saying,
To be fair,
How can you get
Liverpool
97
would have
points
had
and not win the
Liverpool
league?
would have had a little stint at the
Yeah,
top,
that's
a couple
it, yeah.
titles, and
Easy.
this might have been Arsenal's stint
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
where Liverpool might have started tailing
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Then it's Arsenal.
And I've said in group chats, the sooner Pep wins the Champions League and he can leave, then the competition,
Better for everyone.
the competition opens up for everyone.
Yeah.
Going back to Arsenal as a whole, like, if you, at the end of the season, come May, you look back in the season, you say, Arsenal have had a good season compared to where they were in May last year. Like, that's not in doubt.
Yeah.
Going from 5th to a credible title charge with 3-4 games left, no one would have expected it. Big up Arsenal, innit?
Mm.
The disappointment comes from the Arsenal fans is at the position that you were in at the end of March going into April, thinking, right, like I was worried you were going to win the league. innit? Like I've said, Arsenal have been playing excellent football. I'm not ready for them to win.
But can we break that down? Can we actually break that down? Because I've seen the screenshots of the table when it was 29 games gone.
Yeah. 8
City
points.
played 28.
He's only-
Yeah, we
he's only-
played 29.
Yeah.
City played a game less than us, and we was 8 points ahead.
Yeah.
We still had to go to City. We still had to go to Newcastle. We still had to go, not go to Brighton. We still had to play Brighton. We still had a lot of games in between that. It wasn't a full-gone conclusion.
It wasn't.
It wasn't, but I think based on how you played up until that point,
Mm.
I think, like I say, I don't think you can be mad. I think you can be disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, to say you're mad is be like, right, we're in this position all the time and we've blown it. Disappointed because you were potentially 5 points ahead. Let's say you were level on games, 5 points ahead, and it was in your hands. That I think that's the disappointment where it was in your hands, and that's why you haven't won the league essentially.
And just to add to that, I think for me that's why I disagree with you slightly, because we could have still we put ourselves in a position where we could have gone to the City and lost. We could have gone to Newcastle and drawn, and it wouldn't have mattered. I can't remember anyone else putting themselves in that position against City. I can't remember anyone else putting themselves in that position against City. And then, if it was a case of City were on us the whole way, 1 or 2 points, the whole way, bang, bang, like literally every step you're taking from February onwards, if you slip up, you're finished. To your point.
But I still feel like there was that they've got a game in hand and we got to go to City.
No. Like,
So it's
overall,
still
we
like
still had
the
a big
gap
cushion,
was what it was.
yes,
But everyone looked at that and said, that ain't gonna,
that
It's
ain't
not
enough.
that is not enough.
No, I
and
agree.
they are gonna do what Keith said. Boom. Game
because
after
they
game,
do-
win,
they do it.
win.
And they
that's-
do it
and
every
then we're,
year.
No, I
And then
agree.
we have
Okay,
to go to
let me paint a
Emirates
different scenario.
and try and get some.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Let me paint a different scenario. If this league was lost because we lost the City games and we didn't do well against, and we lost Brighton and we didn't do well against Newcastle, I would be less disappointed. I'm not angry or anything. I'm just saying that I would be less disappointed. The fact that before you got to the City game,
That's what I feel like.
You've-
That's why
you've-
everyone's a bit pissed.
you've lost your advantage against teams that we wouldn't expect you to. So the Southampton, forget the Liverpool game. Like even if you take from a footballing point of view, being 2-0 up, no matter how early in the game it is or whatever, being 2-0 up and then letting that lead slip and then you now need to bring the game back isn't great. But if it had been the tough games, the games you look at the cut and be like, you know what, Newcastle in and around you, Brighton are doing the madness, Man City, that's where we lost it. Cool. I'd be less disappointed. But
Most
the
of
fact
the
that
games
actually where we
done.
yeah, exactly.
Don't know.
So that's where for me, I understand the Pep point, but this is not like they were the pressure you lot was under from earlier in the season. That was Pep, kind of knocking at your heels. To be at 29 games, so you've got 9 games to go, and you have an 8-point cushion.
So basically, what you're saying, we beat ourselves.
We
They
did.
didn't beat
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, I'd say that.
You said,
But
you said
Isaac's
forget the
point is
Liverpool
valid
game.
in that they were able to take advantage, and even though they were that far back, they were able to put themselves in a position where they could take advantage, despite being in 3 competitions and getting all the way to the end. You're valid about the quality of the Pep team. But I'm just saying, if you look over time, to give yourself that level of advantage and lose it in that specific way,
Yeah, it's our fault.
then that's where I'm more disappointed. But overall, like I said a few weeks ago when we talked about it, 2 things can be true. You had a good season, but you can be disappointed in a way you didn't capitalize on that season.
We're all disappointed, but when
some
you
of it's
look
gone
at
too
it,
far.
When you look at it, as a whole, when you look at it, I'm all right.
Yeah, no.
I don't really know many fans that are angry though. I can only go by myself, right? You guys know me. Usually I'd be fuming. I'm not that disappointed. I'm actually proud of
We
my
had a
boys.
credible
but
title challenge. What's
are
wrong
you
with
not,
that?
Why are you not disappointed?
Because we've excelled. Wait.
You said you're not fuming, but are you disappointed? You're not angry,
I'm
but are you-
disappointed that we
Okay,
didn't
cool.
win
Okay.
it because
So-
I wanted to
okay,
win the
so-
league. But
yeah.
we've done far better than I ever expected we was gonna.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all right, that's understandable. But you lot were in a position to win the title.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm not disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm
So
just
you've got
disappointed.
you're not angry because you've excelled
Yes.
past your expectations.
Mhm.
So you shot for the sun. You've landed on the moon.
Mm.
You're happy with that.
I'm not happy. I'm disappointed that we didn't win the league.
You're not.
But like you'll
you're not-
take it in.
I will
Like,
take it.
You'll
I'll
take
take
it.
finishing second.
Yeah.
Remember, we probably 6 weeks ago, roughly, we would have said Arsenal have been the best team in the league
For most of the
the
season.
whole
Yeah.
season.
Mm.
I've been enjoying this season.
I wouldn't
I've
say
been
the
enjoying.
best. I'd say the most consistent.
I would say the best.
We wouldn't say the
but
best
I'd
now
take
because
whatever.
we're not top of the league.
No, but
I
even
just
at that
wouldn't say the
point,
best.
I'd
I wouldn't say the
I'd
best
say
as well.
that. Like,
You'd
I
say the
say we've
best.
played the best.
yeah, I think they played.
We have played the best.
They were playing scarily good football at times, man. Like
We were.
I don't
they were
think so.
turning up to teams and rolling them over. But I just want to touch on Mark's point about like the anger thing. Considering the season that you've had and the joys that the team have given the fans,
Mm.
seeing so many fans leave the game at 3-0,
Right.
I was a bit like,
It's disgusting.
Wait,
I
hold
think.
on.
Disgraceful.
Wait.
You can't do that,
What
man.
minute? What minute?
Exactly. Did the
What
third
minute
goal
was
go
the
in?
third goal go in?
86.
Okay.
Allow it.
No.
man.
Wasn't it?
Listen, fans go
No,
home
it was-
early because of the congestion
But
to get out of the stadium. It happens
86
anyway.
Nah,
minute.
come- nah,
They
nah.
didn't start going at
But
3.
you
They
can't
went
say-
at 2.
okay, well, they started
They
going
went
at
at
2.
2.
They started going at 2-0, and you're saying fans leaving because of
was
Did you
congestion.
leave early?
It was 86 minute, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you for free. I've been going to the Emirates
Bro,
for
I
years.
leave-
I leave. Me personally, whether we're winning or losing, I leave at a certain point.
if you lot
Well,
are
I
winning
start
that game,
considering
if you
leaving
lot are
at
winning that
80th
game
minute.
2-0, no one's leaving the stadium.
You can't say
Bro,
that.
you can't tell me that,
can't
bro.
say
You
that.
don't
I
because
know
we've seen
that.
it.
You can't
We've
say
seen
that.
it.
I'm telling you.
Bournemouth.
You can't
Who
say
left?
that.
Who left the game? Who left the ground at Bournemouth?
The
Fans,
commentator-
there were fans leaving the ground at.
I've
not
never left.
Bournemouth
I've
game.
never left.
If
Every
you-
single
if you
time I've gone there, I've never
Some
left.
fans didn't see
I've
his
never
goal.
left early.
If you look back to yesterday's game at 3-0
Yes.
and you look at the camera opposite,
Yeah.
you can just see barefaced.
Yeah, but
red-
you're not allowed to be
red-
disappointed.
96 minute.
You're not allowed to be
But-
disappointed though.
No, you can. But what I'm saying is though, for the joys that the team are giving you this season,
That's not the
you've,
point.
you've
That
essentially
is the
abandoned
point.
them.
What do you mean?
So you're gonna stay there till the 90th minute and finish at
No,
nothing
what-
just because you're
Like,
the
No, you're going to
Like,
support the
people
team.
have priorities, bruv. You're not gonna. If you
Oh,
know
here
your
we
team's
go.
not gonna
Hold
win,
on.
and you
So
can
the
leave
priority is
if you know your
priorities.
team's not gonna
Hold on,
win
hold on,
and you
hold
can
on.
leave the stadium early, why not?
I think my only issue with this is a generalization. So as someone who probably pre-COVID, I went regularly for 7 years. There's always a section of people that live at a certain time. I used to be one of them.
A section, not how it was. That
And to be fair,
on the
this is
weekend.
not only an Arsenal thing. Like I mentioned it when it happened to Tottenham. I know, granted, they were 4 or 5-0 down against Newcastle, and there was a game the following day. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, things can look a certain way.
Yeah.
Me personally, whenever I've gone between 85 and 89th minute, I'm out of there.
Yeah, that does happen.
That 3 minutes
yeah.
can make a massive difference in how you're getting out.
Yeah, that does
No,
happen. But I think
I'm not
there was
naive
there was a
enough.
mass exodus.
Wait, but I'm not
That's not a
naive enough to
problem, though.
say
They
that
leave.
the
How can it not
disappointment
be a
of
problem?
what
They
that
left
result
it.
meant doesn't mean that there were a section of fans who left earlier. But that whole perception of fans are leaving early, it's too
No, there
easy
was
to
a
just be like,
mass-
oh,
There was a mass exodus.
Bro,
Yeah,
unless if
and
the
I
team are
get,
booing,
and it
like,
weren't even like it was like, oh yeah, they're booing or whatever, or they actually, I feel like the
It's
City
abandonment.
result.
Abandonment.
Then
That's
yeah, the City result. They came in, probably thought, what? And then Brighton have turned up. Oh, what's going on? The way they was playing, and then the goals went in, and they thought,
It was disappointment. You're allowed to leave the stadium.
let's get out of it. But that's
It's
not-
two
that's-
things here,
that's-
right?
Go on,
that's
Isaac.
poor.
Go on, Isaac.
It's
Go on,
two
Isaac.
things here, right? I understand both sides of the coin, right? Number one, I understand side A where you'd be like, no, look what they've done throughout the season. Look what they've accomplished. How are you giving up now? Like, support them. They've overachieved, number one. It's the end of the season. Cool. It's the acceptance of not winning the title.
It's not the last game. though.
No, it's not the last game, but it's that
finality of it.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
I understand that. Cool. But then the other side of the coin is the disappointment of getting to the end of to the edge of the cliff, and then not having the guts to jump off. Right?
Yeah.
It's that disappointment. So you will get a section of fans where they're like, I don't care about. Oh look, we've overachieved. We've hit a point, and we want to maintain those standards, and we want to look. No, hold on, we want to push forward. We don't want to just go. We don't want to get to the edge and just be thankful.
Yeah.
We want to get to the edge and keep going. So
Especially
you
the
will
fans
get a
that have started
section.
going this season because things are hot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
but
you're gonna get both sides. You're gonna get both
But
sides.
imagine, just imagine, as fans, all we want is our team, our players to try, work hard,
Yeah, of course.
show a bit of passion, like and do well in it.
Yes.
We've done
Done that
that.
in abundance, in
We've done
abundance.
that in abundance. We've overachieved. Imagine how the players felt after, because we're not looking at Chelsea or Tottenham. You know,
The players felt like they disappointed the fans, bro.
what are you talking about? They are playing for the title. They are playing, you know. It's like when we're
that's a
playing
fair
and we want to win something and we feel dejected at the end. Imagine seeing all your fans just leave.
You
So when
can't
it was
tell
good
paying
times,
fans
everyone was
not to
there.
leave when they
now,
wanna leave.
now, when we've actually, the realizations come, we fell at the last hurdle, the last couple games, 3 games, whatever. We've faltered, we've lost in it, the
Bro,
title.
last game of
Boom,
the
it's
season,
done.
you think they're not going to
Where
clap?
they're on the pitch. They're actually on the pitch. Smith Rowe on the floor, boom. Dejected players. Saka, that everyone's been raving about. That all the fans have been on his side, loving him, loving Arteta, boom, boom, boom. Now it's the realization has come that we're not going to win the title, and what do the fans do? Leave.
Yeah, well, look.
I don't
That
think
is
it's that
poor.
deep.
I'm gonna
I don't
wrap-
think it's that
care what
deep.
you lot
I'm
say.
going to wrap this
I
up
don't think
by
it's that
saying,
deep.
but what I would say is you can't tell people how to feel about
Exactly.
something.
You
Yeah,
can't.
no, that's
If you want to walk out,
poor.
walk
I don't
out.
care.
But they
That's
didn't walk out
poor.
at half time. They walked out after the third goal.
That's poor.
When was
No,
the third goal?
And this is, like I said,
What
this
were you even
isn't-
talking
this
about
isn't
it?
like
Nice.
just
Good
an Arsenal.
times.
Come on,
Good
man.
times, them last second
Bro,
winners and all
This
that.
isn't just
bro.
an Arsenal thing. This
Yeah,
happens
now
like
when it's on the other foot, you leave.
If it's not just an
That's
Arsenal thing,
poor,
fans,
bro.
paying fans can leave when they jolly
forget
well
that,
want to.
man.
If they leave like
Forget that.
at
No, I get
half
it.
time,
I get it.
But they
But
left
like
at
I say,
suitable
this
time,
is
bro.
this-
After I said, I leave when I want to
Suitable
leave.
time.
bro.
this
That-
happens
that seat
across
ain't cheap.
across the board. Like I've heard Tottenham fans saying, I've got a season ticket. I'm not going to go watch them play. Like for me, I'm all in it. Like good or bad, like I've seen my club in the doldrums.
Come on, bro.
If I get a chance to go watch them play, I'm going and I'm staying.
My
like
point is every fan's not the same, innit?
That's
Every
that
fan's
is
not
very
me.
true.
I
But
wouldn't leave
I
unless
don't
it's
think-
like the 85th
But that's
minute.
but
So I'm trying to
it's
avoid
like-
traffic.
but it's
It's fair
acceptable
weather, innit?
or reasonable to look up at the stands and seeing few fans leaving in it. Not a mass exodus means like a lot of fans.
Yeah, and you saw the pictures
you
of
can
walking.
see
But
they've
it's
left.
disappointing, bruv.
Yeah,
We've
but
just lost 3-0.
All right,
Not even like his
guys,
first
let's
half
move
or
this
again.
on. Let's-
It's the second half, but
This
very
is not
quickly.
Arsenal pod, yeah.
Just very quickly. You
that's
touched on
what. This is why we get bantered. as
You
well.
touched on what? Because we're leaving the same.
No,
at
no,
86th
not
minute.
just that.
Allow
Not
it.
just
Allow
that.
it, man.
Because when we're on top and we're high, everything's great. It's got like we
You
make
just
it.
said it's not just Arsenal fans.
Bro, it's
football
fans
fans
in
in
general.
general.
But
Exactly.
I'm
So
saying this is
you lot
why
are bad at it.
Arsenal fans
Why?
get
Guys.
bantered so much. Because
Mark,
when we're
Mark,
on top,
make your
everything's rosy.
All right,
when
very
we're at the
quickly, very
bottom,
quickly.
everyone just
Make your
Isaac,
point. We
you made
go
a
up
point,
against
yeah?
the
jumps
of-
on the
When
jumps
everyone's
on.
back at their best, where's Arsenal going to finish here?
Mhm.
Bro, what is everyone's best?
Bruv, yeah.
What is everyone's best?
I wanted to move on to that.
Okay, all right.
When has
So
everyone
when-
been at their
First
best?
of all,
That's
what's
the
when I
next
say-
thing.
Liverpool's best?
when I
Because I
say-
think your best next season, we're better than your best next season. Book it, as
Realistically,
Keith would say. I'm
Yeah.
being serious. I reckon our best
Remember,
next season is better than your best.
our best is 98 points.
No, don't think about the past.
No, well, you said what's our
You
best?
don't know what your best is going to look like next season.
But that is our best.
No.
Like,
I
neither do you.
definitely think. I
Neither
definitely
do
think
you.
we're in the top 4. I definitely don't think we're out of the top 4. If everyone's back to their like normal, resumes their
I think you
normal
are.
What's
stuff,
your top
I
4?
think we're in the top 4. And
What's your top 4? So
Who-
City.
I think we'll
City
finish
is going to
third
be tough to.
minimum next
I
season.
don't even know how Mac asked that question. You ain't even see one transfer done yet, bro.
But listen, no. But if we put into like perspective of everyone's on form, that changes a little bit that what City does as well in this season.
Okay. So City
They ain't
right
gonna
now.
roll over Liverpool.
Okay,
They're not
so
gonna
let-
roll over Chelsea.
Let me
They're not
let
gonna roll
me give you teams, and then from
Go
those
on.
4 teams,
Go on.
or from those 5 teams, you can pick what your top 4 is.
Yeah.
So Arsenal right now,
Yeah.
Liverpool when we won the title,
Yeah.
right? City. Did
Any
you say any
You're
City?
just plucking teams from certain teams.
No. You
because
can't have
we don't
errors.
know. We
I'm not
can't-
gonna say
Yeah,
of the
that's not
season.
realistic.
I
It's
can
not a
say.
realistic
I can
conversation.
say.
You said our best.
No.
So-
What I'm thinking next season is Arsenal, Liverpool, City, and Newcastle. I don't think Man United is gonna get. Is going to be in the top 4. And I don't
They're
think
not
Chelsea
good
are
enough.
going to be in
They're
the
not
top
good.
4.
Yeah.
I don't think them two will be. I think Newcastle they've had a brilliant season, and I think they'll build on that. Liverpool, I feel like you'll get better, but certain players like Van Dijk and that, I don't see them getting back to their best like that 98 points. He ain't coming back to
And
his
he's
best.
fucking
Coutinho, I don't think
this
that.
is-
To
that's
be
they're
honest, I
gonna
think
get
what's
back
got to
their best.
happen, like for the challenging teams, you've got to take at least a minimum 3 points from the teams that you're battling with. Like, just it's not a kick at Arsenal, but like you're going toe to toe with Man City. You haven't beaten them this season. You can't win a league without beating your challenger.
No, that's
home
not
away.
factually true because again, if we
we've
had
done what
won,
we had to
if we
do
had won those
and lost to
games
City.
and lost against
Exactly.
City, we could still have
We
won
won't
the
be having
league.
this conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
But you never.
No,
but
but
your
point,
point, but what I'm saying is like,
No, hold on, wait. No, let's be specific
but,
here.
but I'm saying,
Wait,
if you had beaten
hold
Man
on.
City
Yeah,
and won yesterday,
yeah.
you'd be top of the league.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah, but as we discussed earlier, which you agree, we didn't lose the league at Man City. That's my point. So
no, but what I'm saying generally, you've got to beat the teams that you're going head to head
He's saying
with
that's
to win
not
the
factually
league.
true because
that's
we,
not
don't,
fact.
we
This
didn't
season
need to.
demonstrated that because if we had beaten Southampton and beaten West Ham, that City
But
game
no,
would
but
have
it
been
is
mad. It'd have been
factually true
inconsistent.
because Man City are probably going to win the league, and
No,
you
but
haven't beaten
but
them.
we lost it before we got there.
But we didn't do what we were supposed to. Like,
But don't my
fans
point
ain't-
stand.
No, but the fans ain't upset about the City game though.
No, I'm not saying this is slight at
Because
you.
we
I'm just
didn't-
saying in general.
We
I know,
thought
but
we was
it's-
going to go to Etihad and just at best get a draw. At best.
the
Do
point.
you know what I mean?
The
But
point.
I think looking ahead, I guess for me the proper conversation is where teams are today. So where their squads are, what is realistic, the change that you can affect in one transfer window, maybe 2, and there's some school of thought that by the time it's January, you need to get transfers in that kind of help the direction you're going in. It's not going to change it necessarily, right? But we've seen January transfers come in and turn around things. I think that's the conversation because again, I had another Liverpool fan tell me today that next year they're going to be the team that's challenging City for the title from the squad they've got today,
It's
right?
what?
And I said, well,
Bro, we've won the last.
wait,
Yeah,
hold
talk
on.
about
No,
the-
And
based on what
improve
though?
squad.
Wait,
I'm gonna
wait.
tell you-
Based on
I'm
what?
going to tell you what he
right
said.
now.
I'm going to tell you, and his view was, you guys are going to sort out the midfield, and that's it. Because your attacking options, and obviously he's not the
agree
one
with
voice for all
I agree
Liverpool
with
fans. But my challenge to him was to turn around
Bro, that's
to
funny.
the list of
I
things
even
you
think
need to fix
Chelsea
and
will do
address.
better next
To do that in one window
It's not hard.
would be a fantastic turnaround.
Oh yeah, it would. And we can't have this conversation till September 1st.
No, I agree.
So,
Yeah.
I think
No,
we
but
park
last
it.
September we can
All right,
look
listen,
back at last
listen,
September
We can park it.
Listen,
and say that Tottenham was going to be the illest team going
Yeah,
into the
and
season.
Chelsea. Like,
And Chelsea.
so yeah.
Quick,
like,
all right.
But that
predictions
proves
don't
my
mean
point.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
It does.
Before we move on, can we just actually discuss the game?
Oh yeah.
Well,
There's nothing to discuss.
no,
we
but I
can.
signposted
We
I
didn't
signposted
turn
it
up.
earlier. The
Right,
man of the defeat, like the actual. There's a bigger, wider story here than the defeat is plain and clear to see. We got beaten 3-0 at home.
Well
Okay,
done,
so
Brighton.
let me focus on 3
What's there to
points.
discuss?
Let me
Yeah.
focus on 3 points from
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Right. Number 1 is Saka and his performances
Okay.
as of late.
Tired.
Kiwior and his absence of mind, which led to the goal.
You know all about absence of mind. You got VVD at the back, so you should know that.
No, Banner. Hi. But Banner.
No, you've been dissing it.
No. I'm genuinely just trying to.
But you don't.
Talking points.
No.
Talking points.
But don't say it like you don't understand. You know. Accidents happen.
What was his name? Nathan Ferguson, the striker.
Nathan?
Is it Nathan?
Are you keeping this guy's?
What was his name?
Is it Ewan Ferguson?
Evan
Ferguson.
Yeah.
Sorry, my apologies. The reason why I want to talk about it, I'm bringing that up because I feel like he's gonna earn himself a move to a big club.
He will. He's
very quickly.
Yeah, he done well.
I think people are gonna go, who are the possible options, striking options, right? And I just looked at, I watched his game. I've watched him here and there, but I actually paid attention to him watching this game, and I felt like he's got the movement, he's got the desire,
physicality.
he's got something about him, he's got the physicality and the presence. I feel like people are gonna come to the transfer window and go, Harry Kane,
this summer?
Yeah.
No, I think it's too early.
I think
You think it's too early?
Yeah, I think
All right, let me just hear me out. Just hear me out before you go. Just hear me out, right? I feel like people are gonna go Harry Kane and possibly look at all the drama of getting him away from Tottenham.
Yeah.
And he's on the way down.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of age and like upside.
The usual metrics, yeah.
Right? The usual metrics. Or are we gonna go, let's invest in Ferguson now, get him early, and then let him grow into a top level striker?
I think he needs more goals.
Yeah, so 3 points will be on that then. Because if you're talking about the clubs that are looking at Harry Kane, then you're talking the Man Cities of this world.
Yeah.
Chelsea's.
They don't need him
Specifically
now.
Man United and Chelsea.
But that's that level, right?
Specifically Man United and Chelsea.
So Man United and Chelsea, at that point, Man United are looking for a bit of a Van Persie-ish move, right? Let me get someone who's ready, comes in, is going to fire us and move us forward.
Yeah.
Who knows what the hell Chelsea are thinking? I think if we spoke to them at 10 a.m. and at 1 p.m, it's too
Chelsea are smart. They'll put everything into getting Harry Kane.
100%.
Lukaku's coming back as well. Why not just have them have Kane anyway? Just
And then the third thing is his club. Brighton you're not coming to rob me, bro. If you come and take one of my stars, you're paying the money. So the money you'd have to pay Brighton, he hasn't justified that yet. We could all see the potential. If it was some other clubs, fine. But Brighton, you're not getting no change out of there. I reckon even now, I think he just signed a new contract as well.
I think they've conceded already as well, which this is why I don't think he's going anywhere. They've already conceded.
Yeah.
Casado and McAllister will probably go.
And I think he needs to be a bit like he scored 7 goals in all comps like this season. I think he needs to hit like 10 in the league, maybe.
You don't think he's shown enough about him to go, okay, because we've seen it. It's not like we haven't seen it before.
No,
where a player's had a half decent season, and the club's just gone.
I think we've got to see it again.
But I think if he has another season like this, a whole season, but doesn't score that many goals, I think you're right. I think next year someone says, you know what? If I give him better firepower, etc., etc. So even if he only scores 7 to 10 goals next season, if he just shows that this season wasn't a lucky spike or the surprise factor helped him, then I think you're right. I think someone picks him up. And then if he scores 15, 20 goals, then the person that comes to pick him up is probably a step above. He jumps a level.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of Tottenham coming for him, you're right. Maybe it is a Man United saying, listen, we're going back to the old days where we pick up players like you and it's a 70 million and we're just going to pay it now. But I do think if he's smart, he's just got his new contract, start next season as the number 1 choice with Dinky Wells backing him up. And then next summer, he's gone. Hence why they gave him the contract now, I think. And they'll carry on their factory model because there's at least another 3 players I've heard of since January that they're planning to roll out on the production line for next season if they lose Casado and McAllister. So it's a joke. The Saka point, I think it's an interesting one. This feeds into the Arteta bit earlier.
He looked
bruv,
laboured.
the guy is immune for substitution, bruv.
He
looked tired.
He's tired.
I don't know why.
Why can't he be signed?
I checked his
I'm not
games.
saying he can't be signed. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you are.
He's tired, isn't it? We can all see it.
I don't
think
think
Arteta's
August, he's played 54 club games since August. That's excluding international.
Consecutively.
Not consecutive, but like he played 54 games this season for Arsenal, excluding internationals.
We've been
Like,
crying
that-
out for him to be benched.
That's a lot of games, man.
No,
And
that's a
like
lot, man.
Arteta played him in certain Europa League games where you man
don't
were
need
like,
to.
you'd see the team and you're like,
Didn't need
why
to.
Saka playing? And this was
Yeah.
when he was kind of firing. So I kind of
Yeah.
understand why, but it's like, rest him.
But
Burn-
even in
burn-
games,
burn out-
I mean, in
burn
the
out
games
could
where you
happen.
could take a man off at 60 minutes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you
yeah,
could.
yeah.
He's not doing that.
So a question I have, right, is this obviously points to the inexperience of Arteta,
A little bit, yeah.
right?
I agree.
Do you really think like you don't have the viable options on the bench? Like you've got Reece Nelson,
You don't have
etc.
to-
I don't think.
Do you really think taking Saka off would have caused such a dip, or
Trossard is alright,
Exactly.
but
why? To Coco's point, like why couldn't he be subbed? Like what?
I don't know. I don't know what's
From
in
you lot
Arteta's
as
head.
Arsenal fans,
I
like
don't know
what?
what's in Arteta's
And there's
head, I'm not
certain
gonna lie.
games where
What do you
I would
feel?
have, again, as the fan, I don't have the data, all of that, but watching the game, Saka's coming off before Martinelli for me in certain games.
Yeah.
But I know when that board goes up,
But
as
do you
I see
know-
Trossard
It's
warming up,
Martinelli.
I know Martinelli's
you
coming
know
off.
what? Yeah, I think you said something the other day when you was like, Arteta can't take him off because he knows he's so consistently good that if he gets into a position to make a decision, pass, shoot, more time, he's gonna
But-
get it right.
And since I've said that point, it hasn't happened.
He hasn't scored since
But this is where Arteta's
Yeah.
immaturity comes into it. That's true what you said,
Mm.
but you need to understand. You need to get to a point where you're like, you know what? Okay, that's not going to happen. It's not happened. Now I need to change it.
February
He's
was
been
his
leaving
last
the
goal.
one and it's not
It's
working.
a long time, man.
Yeah, that is a long time.
Nah, I think
What was
just-
his last assist though?
What was his last assist? I don't remember last time he contributed. Though,
You
to be
haven't
honest.
scored that many goals.
Yeah. Anyway, well, look, we spent I mean, it's important. It's the title race and that. I had to let Isaac get his shots off and that. But moving to the connected game, Everton 0, Man City 3. It's so funny. Someone in the week said Everton used up all their power. Everton used up all their powers last week, but they didn't to save
I
it.
don't think that's
a
fair,
fair
though.
point.
I don't think it's fair. They
No, I
started
think
off
that
very well.
because that fixture might be the fixture that's kept them up.
Everton played really
that's
well.
fair.
Though.
That's fair.
I think
Everton
that-
played really well. For the first 20 minutes,
Yeah.
Everton, they look. As an Arsenal fan, I was like, come on, Everton.
No,
Come on,
but,
Everton.
but
They
no,
played.
but even from a simple statistical point of view, you've been rubbish this whole season. You're not gonna turn out back-to-back wins,
It's true.
and one of them is against basically one of the best teams we've ever seen in the Prem.
Yeah.
So when I saw them win that game last week, I said any 1 in 4 million hope of them doing anything on Sunday was
Gone.
it was finished.
To be fair, they didn't play well for the first 20 minutes.
They didn't.
They were compact and
But that's
frustrated.
them playing well, though. That's an Everton
They were
team
compact.
playing
Oh,
well.
you're saying they
frustrated.
played well for Everton?
Yeah, that's an
Nah,
Everton team playing well.
okay, fair enough.
They were compact.
They were-
City couldn't break
No,
through them.
but,
On
like-
the counter attack.
Okay, when you said they played well, I thought you meant they were, like for a football team they were playing well. Fair enough.
And to be fair,
And
the
then-
goals they conceded as well, they weren't.
Yeah,
they
and
weren't
they had
shabby.
to be fair, they had a
I
chance
mean-
to go 1-0 up before the
Yeah.
goal, but that goal,
Yeah,
Gundogan. Listen.
Who?
Gundogan.
Yo,
Gundogan, no?
Why are you not saying whoa?
I said it today.
That ain't his name. I'm thinking that is his name.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm
Gundogan.
saying that.
Isn't that
It's
his
good.
name,
Man,
no?
just do it straight phonetic.
Wait.
It's
What's
Gundogan.
Huh?
Gundogan.
You ever go? You ever
I'll
go?
allow it, man. Let's say Gundogan like one and all them things. Allow it, man.
Gundogan is his hair.
Alright,
is still-
Gundogan to appease the room.
I'm not gonna say he's wrong, innit?
But you're not going to correct him.
Nah,
Listen, people who are paid to know these things, they don't say it like that.
They still get it wrong.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, the
Guy
touch.
That
The touch.
yo, on the fire, bro.
And
Bro.
I said it in
Alright,
the group chat.
let's break this down, right?
Foden was celebrating before he took the second touch.
Listen, let's break
That's
this down,
mad.
right? Mahrez clips the ball into him in a packed box. He's got 3 men around him.
On the 6-yard line,
to
bro.
to have the mindset to trust your player
Back to goal.
back to goal, man around him, he's not set. So he's clipped the ball into him. He's the fire control, bruv.
But it's just rude.
It's
Bro,
rude.
It's just rude.
Intentional, innit? Like, it's just everything was
Isaac, it's
intentional.
just
the
rude.
You can
presence
pause
of
his fire back a little bit.
Bruv, the
And then the
presence
finish.
of mind in that situation to hold your man off, fire control it, back to goal, and then
Mad.
just
Mad.
slot it.
And
yo,
you know,
come
he
on,
goes
man.
like this,
Mad.
yeah? You see, he
That
goes like
was
this.
that
If
was-
he had controlled it with his fire, and then he attempted on goal and the keeper saved it. We're still talking about it, you know.
Yeah.
Then the finish was in the corner. It wasn't. He finished it like he was looking at the goal and side-footed in the corner.
Yeah.
Instinctive,
No.
Was
Sorry,
that wait? Was that the weekend team? City.
Oh yeah.
Weekend team.
So then the only sloppy-ish goal I would argue, but then again, is it sloppy if Haaland's manhandling you in the box there?
No, Pickford, man.
Yeah, that's
You talk about the second goal, yeah?
We need to have a conversation about Jordan Pickford.
But,
This is England's
apparently
number
he's
one.
next in line for a move. They're saying that he might be
I
the
don't-
Man United De Gea replacement.
He would definitely be the Man United De Gea.
No, I would
I
not
think
be happy
he's
with
been
that.
fortunate there hasn't been a good enough production line of English goalkeepers
I
over
agree.
the last 5
Very
or 6 years.
Bro, his
You wouldn't wait. So would you wouldn't take him over Lloris or De Gea?
But that's not a high bar
No.
to
I'm
compare them
just
against.
saying.
but
would
for
you-
Man United,
No.
Oh,
You wouldn't take him
Actually,
over?
no, not for what it would cost.
I'd keep
What it would
DDG
cost,
rather
maybe
than-
not. But
I'd
if
keep
you've got
it.
De
How
Gea,
much does it
DD
take?
No,
DDG
forget the cost.
a better
Straight
just the
shotstopper.
player.
No.
player.
Nah.
Yeah.
You don't think
Nah,
so?
I wouldn't swap them.
No.
Nope.
You got to go out there and get someone better than all of them.
No.
I'm keeping De Gea and buying better centre backs. That solves some of my problem.
Some
I
of it,
agree.
you're still going to get those.
Yeah,
errors.
Pickford, I'm not
I
having.
can have the best centre backs in the world. It's not solving Pickford's issues, bro.
If you look back at that second goal, he jumps and ends up clattering into the far post.
Bruv, all I
And I'm
saw
like,
was
what's this guy
him
doing?
jump and just wave his arms like this. What
It's-
was
it's-
And the
going
thing,
on?
like, if he just kind of shuffled his feet, the ball would have gone straight to him and he could have caught it because it wasn't a hard header. Like, this guy. And even the free kick.
No, all right. Let's break that one
That
down
was
as
a
well.
dope free
Why
kick,
was
bro.
he so far over
To his left.
to his left?
It's mad.
And it's
I
one of
don't
those
care
ones
if
where
there's a wall. You've left too much of a gap.
and you know sometimes you watch free kicks, and you're like, ooh. Then you watch the replay, and you're like, that wasn't that far into the corner as I thought. And it'd be interesting to hear the goalkeepers union on this one because I agree. You can get beaten by those ones that far away from the post if if the speed is correct, etc. But again, this is England's number one keeper. Someone would regard him as one of the best keepers in the league.
Roy Keane, though. Roy Keane was gunning him.
But Roy Keane played with PSG. Like he's the best. And I just
Ramsdale's better than him, man.
100%.
yeah.
I'll start Ramsdale.
But
Even Pope.
and even Ramsdale, you could argue he's nuts when he's ready. But yeah. So Everton didn't want to help us. I hope you get relegated. But Man City.
Scary
unbelievable.
We
time.
need to have a Mahrez conversation at the end of the season.
Scary
I'm gonna part
hours.
that.
What's all right? You said you're gonna park it, but what's the gist of the conversation?
I don't
What's the
think he
point?
gets the ratings, bro.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I don't think he gets it. Mahrez is
When you talk about champagne football, yeah,
nasty
When
piece of
when
work,
you
that
say he
man.
doesn't get the ratings, as in he should be talked about as one of the
What's the point this way?
elite.
Pep doesn't
100%.
think he's better than what's playing ahead of him.
I don't think it's. I think it's general. Like if you done a poll of, tell me your best outside forward wingers, I don't think many people, like general, are gonna put Mahrez in your top
that's
five.
true.
Put it this
Top
way,
five.
He's,
Yeah,
already,
I don't-
he's already regarded as one of the best players in terms of like control, dead ball, controlling the
True.
ball, first touch. He's regarded as one of the
And
best,
This,
if not the
this
best.
season, who's spoken about him? They've spoken
He's hardly
about
played.
Grealish. They've spoken about Saka, obviously
You
Martinelli.
know why they talk about Grealish?
Salah for numbers.
He washes Grealish.
No, but Mahrez is not playing
For
as
fun,
much
bro.
as
And you know
Sometimes.
how I judge this as well. It's to that point you make there. Sometimes I feel like it's a little bit reductive. So yeah, this season they talk about his first touch. He's one of the best first touches on the move, etc. But how I judge it sometimes is when players play and they do certain things, the difference in reaction. So some of the accolades and the enthusiasm for what some of Jack Grealish is producing now. When Mahrez was producing it, we weren't getting the same.
Yeah,
We weren't getting the same energy.
You're not
And I
gonna get
understand,
it.
obviously, he's an England player,
Yeah.
etc. But we weren't getting the same energy. And I think Mahrez can go down as one of the best wingers we've seen in the Prem.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And with that context, do you think he's spoken about or when he produces the review and how it's talked about is in that vein? I don't think it is.
Yeah,
if he
I
came
think
from
he-
another planet and heard how Grealish is talked about, how certain
Do
players
you
are
think
talked
he's
about,
at the same level as the Hazards and the Salahs and
I think he's a step behind Salah. But Salah, boy, Salah and Hazard.
Do you know what? All right.
Salah and Hazard's like,
Do you know what? Right, with Mahrez, I think if he scored more goals, maybe a few more goals, I don't get me wrong, he scores goals.
And
But I think if he scored
Like,
a
elite
few
numbers.
more goals,
Yeah. And I think he's a victim of Pep's rotation as well.
Yes.
this is
Like, I think that's the main
Everyone
because
is.
I think at Leicester they spoke about him because at Leicester it was Conte, Mahrez, Vardy. Right?
if he's at a team where he plays 38 Premier League games a season and that team is performing well,
But-
everyone's raving
But you
about
see
him.
this Pep rotation thing, yeah.
Everyone
Is this why they've won 5 out of 6?
I would say so.
Like
Yeah,
all
'cause it's
the
constantly
players
they can
that come
rotate
in,
Yeah,
they're ready.
they're
The
levels.
starters.
They're
Bro,
ready.
I reckon he's got
Stars.
better because there was a period where when Pep rotates you out, it's like it's for a whole season. I remember like effectively almost a whole season Bernardo Silva didn't play. There was all these rumors he's gonna leave, etc. Then the next season, he's the one playing, and then it's Foden that was holding
And-
bench.
and also
then
as
it
well-
was Sterling. You know, his rotation now is actual rotation. You play three before your season's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Literally.
And kind of what you said a couple pods ago, John. Pep is tweaking his system now, so he hasn't just played 4-3-3 all season.
Yeah.
Like it's come to like January, and he started playing Stones as that inverted kind of midfielder from the defense. So he hasn't kind of just kept to the same kind of formation and just rotated the players. He's been like, right, we've not really been at our levels. What can I do to tweak it? And since he's done that little tweak, 12
Yeah.
games in a row.
No, you're right. His goal scoring numbers, they're not shabby, but they're not elite, man. He's played 142 Premier League games for City and scored 43 goals. So he's just on the 1 in 3. Again, not shabby.
I think if
But-
that was 80 goals,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
then
different
you're like-
story.
then I
I think
think,
it's a bit harsh
you can't not talk about it.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit harsh to compare him to Salah though, because Salah to me seems like a striker playing out on the wing, whereas Mahrez is a winger.
No, I think the reason why I don't mind comparing is because Salah has played in that position consistently wherever he's gone. It's not like they shifted it to make it fit. When he was at Roma, when he was at
I
Fiorentina,
feel like
the
he's
little
main
games he
man,
got at
though.
Chelsea.
He's a main man at Liverpool, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, which
Mahrez
helps,
ain't. You
which
don't know
helps.
what Pep's telling Mahrez.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Chill
And maybe
out
if he
out
got
there.
the same
Don't come
level of.
inside. Everything's there.
And
Don't
maybe if he
shoot.
Yeah, don't shoot.
If you shoot,
Cut
you're
back,
coming
shoot,
off.
Until you get past this blade of grass,
It's
don't do
fine.
this action. But yeah, I think Mahrez he's an absolute joke, man.
Yeah.
And then to be able to rotate, I won't say weaken, but to rotate your team, and he's one of the guys you bring in, and we can wax talking about it, but I think he brings something very different to everyone else they've got. Right, the end result might be the same in terms of the distribution, and he might score, he might assist, but the way he does it, there's no one else like him in that squad. No one else.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
It's crazy. So yeah, thanks Everton. Brentford 2, West Ham 0. What are we saying? Everyone's on. I want a European trophy. I wasn't expecting it to be. I don't want to say it was easy, but I thought West Ham, they're not 100% safe yet. They're almost safe, but they're not.
No,
I think they are.
They're,
They're
safe.
pretty
safe. They're safe.
They're safe, and they
They're
got a
safe.
European.
Yeah, I think
West
they've got an eye on Thursday.
I think that's what the
That's
mindset
it,
was.
yeah.
isn't
And
it?
the lineup as well.
Yeah, get safe,
I
and
mean,
then
I mean, Maxwell Cornet
Yes,
started, so that told me.
I don't remember the last time he played, bro.
what David Moyes thought of that team.
Yeah, that's it.
Flynn Downs, Daddy Ings started. I like Daddy Ings, but recently Mikel Antonio has been the
starting.
guy
Yeah.
who starts.
Yeah, he's definitely looking at Thursday.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a great achievement for them.
Two things here, right? If my man doesn't have that impending ban coming, what are we saying about a top 16 picking him up?
I want Edu to pick up that phone.
I think he could go to any of them.
Yeah.
Any of them and perform.
Wait, hold
I
on. Sorry, Keith. You could go to any of them, but to Isaac's the question, which of the top 6 should be picking up the phone?
Arsenal.
United
Oh,
and
Arsenal,
United.
Arsenal, United, Chelsea.
Arsenal, yeah,
Easily.
Chelsea?
Chelsea
I
need
don't
a
know about
man.
Chelsea, you know.
Why not?
I
Arsenal?
don't know. I don't know if he
100%.
fits.
Win.
Arsenal,
Yeah.
Arsenal and
Stay in the
United.
middle. Be a news. He gives us the things none of our other strikers give us.
Yes.
Presence, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And he will
And he knows
finish.
where the goal is.
Yeah,
He knows where the goal
Even
is.
going back to what did you call him, Nathan Ferguson? I think Arsenal should go in for him as well. If I'm honest.
Nah,
But
not
we've got
yet.
Balogun.
Right now.
Not yet. You need a 30 bags man now.
But yeah, I don't.
And I would argue Balogun is ahead of Ferguson.
You think so?
100%.
So why not bring him back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might do.
If I'm Balogun, I'm not coming back to. You're not doing me how you did Eddie, innit? You gave anyone that money, but he's still holding bench every week. I'm off. So,
Second question,
yep.
because I had 2 points. Thomas Frank.
Bro,
Does he not make it into your? Does he not get an honourable mention? Because I don't think he's done enough to be.
I don't
in
think he's done enough.
Nah,
the
he,
top
he done
three.
what kind of expected.
He kind of faded out in there.
nah,
He's
can't-
done,
done-
he's
you
done
think
well,
he's
but
done
I don't
what's
think you can put
expected?
honorary mention.
Yeah, he
He's
kind
done
of
all
faded
right.
out
I think he
towards-
should get on.
We'll big him up.
Yeah, to be fair, this is second season in it. Like second season in Prem,
It's
it can be a bit tricky. So
hard.
You think
to maintain what
they've
they've done last
overachieved
season,
massively?
yeah, I'd say.
Brentford are 9th. Come on.
Yeah.
Brentford are
The thing
9th.
is, like,
No, that's good though.
yeah,
It's good
yeah,
for them.
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Really
He's-
honourable
he's
mention.
not-
you say Brentford and you think
Honorary
established
mention.
Premiership team, innit?
No, you don't think so?
We'll
Too
leave
far.
it for now.
I think it's
That's
second
too far.
season with the players he's got, how they performed against top teams, how they've even coped with the whole thing around Tony.
Mhm.
Like other teams
Mhm.
with probably a less mature culture or a weaker culture.
I'll put Gary O'Neill over him.
No, I would. No. In the context
there
of
you
this
go.
season, but you said honourable mention, not even put him running.
Yeah.
I think he should be mentioned again. It's going to be interesting to see what choices he makes from a career point of view, right? So I think he signed a new contract not too long ago.
Mhm.
But there is a thing in football of you need to strike while your iron is hot in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see after next season, because again, every season you're longer in the Prem, it gets harder to maintain that. Everyone else is jigging about,
Tottenham.
etc.
Eddie Howe's Bournemouth.
Tottenham.
Bournemouth were seen as an
That's what I'm
established Premiership club.
So
Got
next
relegated.
season,
But
maybe if you start getting a
Frank
bit tricky.
He looks like he's got his head screwed on, mate.
That's what I'm saying. You sell Tony possibly, and yes, they've got a system and it's data driven, But you sell Tony possibly, it's what's starting to look different. You get to January, February, you're like, you know what? It's a bit like Wolves, right? If the right team calls, I'm jumping. I got to take this chance. So it's going to be interesting to see, this time next year, are we having a conversation about him still being at Brentford, or has he made that jump and he's doing a Tottenham? Is there a bit of a musical chairs where someone gives De Zerbi an offer he can't refuse? So actually now Frank is the one. I think they play very different football. I don't think Bright would go for him to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
What about a West Ham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
they've got the resources, the pressure of the club. Because the thing is, whilst they've performed better, what you see with the Premier certain size of clubs is you can have a dip for 1 or 2 years, but they've got the resources to go out and do stuff. And even from a career point of view, you want to be able to say you've managed a club the size of West Ham. You want to be able to say you've
So,
gone
all
there
right.
and done that.
all right. So a further question on that is, which speaks to his management style against the whole infrastructure of the club.
Yeah.
Right. With De Zerbi, you can clearly see there's a playing style.
Yeah.
Right. He's coming. He's got them playing mad football. I don't think if Potter's still at the club, they're not where they are right now.
No,
No.
he's in the village part, yeah.
Right. Add it on top of their infrastructure, which is
Yes.
they've got a system.
Yeah.
They scout a certain way for players.
Yeah.
And then
And
De
even
Zerbi,
for off-field stuff, for technical stuff
and
as
then
well.
De Zerbi comes in and he polishes it, right?
Mm.
Thomas Frank has come in. I don't know if I can necessarily see a prominent style of football.
Yeah.
But like to your point, they've got a system that's clearly working. Frank is clearly the man to steer the ship.
Yeah.
Do you think if you lift him out of that system and that setup
Yep.
and put him in another team that doesn't have the same setup, he performs and has the same output?
I think the probability of
Do you think
getting
he's
him up
good enough?
We wouldn't know, but again, if I'm those kind of managers, if I'm a De Zerbi, if I'm a Frank, that is part of my decision process.
Yeah.
What is your culture? What
team did he come from?
I'm not sure, but he was at Brentford for a while.
No, he
Like,
was part of the coaching stuff. He got
was in-
promoted.
He was in the championship with them, innit?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he got them up. So
Yeah, he
his
promoted.
style was kind of like he's been in the club for a while, so it's easier for your style to be implemented when you're in.
Well, that's a
that,
great question, but I do honestly think
No.
that the question is really about. I think now, as a manager, now that more and more clubs are doing that key structure, that's actually a key question that you're asking.
Mm.
You know, if you think about how long, again, we don't know, but if you're Pochettino, yeah, you're slightly scarred from what you've had at Spurs. You've then gone to PSG and dealt with the egos there. I won't be surprised if a lot of that conversation to Chelsea is about, okay, how is this going to work? How does this go forward? How does this work? So yeah, to that question, I think he makes sure he goes into a club with a certain structure.
Yeah.
Unless he's been promised that you're part of this structure changing.
Yeah.
You're part of us having a better, more consistent, more data-driven.
I mean, because we've seen it more recently with Conte coming
Yes.
in, and the structure of the club doesn't necessarily fit
Match up, yeah.
with his ideology,
Yeah.
right? We've seen it with Potter coming into Chelsea, bringing his stuff, but then the structure of how the club's run has clearly not worked with his
It's all got a
ideology.
line in it.
So, to Thomas Frank, do you leave this setup that's currently good? But like you said, to your point, I know that all forms part of your decision making, but do you leave Brentford now while the iron's hot, or do you wait it out till the
think
right
leave,
situation
man.
comes?
Brentford ain't
This summer?
I think
Put the feelers out
I don't
and
know
see
about
what's
that,
there.
but if I'm De Zerbi,
Mm.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a good
But
thing.
Thomas Frank,
Why would
I'm
you not leave
thinking,
if you're De Zerbi?
You got something
couple
good at
man
Brighton,
comes
Brighton.
out of here.
And you've not been there long, to be
Yeah.
fair.
And you can see he's building something that he looks like he's enjoying his time there,
Yeah.
and he wants to build something. Like, you don't lose 5-1 and be like, I'm winning the next game. If you don't think
You've
Yeah.
got
you're invested.
But there's
in it,
limits, right? So if we take it from a career point of view, with all due respect to Brighton, De Zerbi can stay there for 5 years, and we can probably guess some of the ceiling there, right? Like they could sneak a Champions League if things go in the same way, but in that short time frame, so at me as a manager, in that time frame, if people who are already at that level come and start saying, "Look, here's X amount of money, here's a job at this prestigious club, etc." Am I going to turn that down and wait and try and do basically? Am I going to basically do the manager version of Harry Kane, right? And say, I'm going to be the one that stays here and does that. It's hard. And as a manager, it doesn't take long for things to start going the other way.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, it's P45.
I don't think he's going to stay there forever.
No,
he's
no,
probably,
yeah, he
won't
he's
stay
probably
there
got
forever.
any job he wants in Italy
Yeah,
right
true.
now.
True.
But I think he's, like what you said, he's enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I would enjoy it as well.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if he
Sick
left
team.
Yeah.
before next season starts. I'd be very, very surprised.
Yeah, I think he'll stay to next summer.
Yeah, I think Thomas Frank is during the season next year. Let's see what happens with Tony, whether it's a ban or a sale, and other players. Other players there that people are looking at. Burma, there's a few players there that have done well, and then you get to December, January. How's the season going? Someone calls and he's like, "Let's triple my salary." All right, yeah. It's that kind of.
think
thing.
because of
To
what-
couple that with your question about Thomas Frank going to another club, I don't think anyone, the way he's playing right now, the way Brentford are playing right now, I don't think anyone is going to go in for him until, like John said, next season, probably mid next season, because I don't think he's deserved an honourable mention. Like, he started off well, but I think
But
it's just.
do you not think he gets credit for taking a championship team who'd never been in a
that ship has
championship
sailed?
before?
They're not a championship team anymore.
No, but I'm saying he's taking them
I know,
from.
I know,
It's
but-
very hard to go from the championship, stay up the first season,
Yeah, I hear that.
and then
Mid-table.
second season become, like I said to John, you say Brentford, you think they're an established premiership. They've only been in there 2 years.
Yeah. With the transfer budget and the players he's been able to add to that
Yeah.
squad, I think that makes it even more impressive.
But they started off well. They just
a
haven't
lot of
been
teams,
finishing
a lot
the
of
season
those
well.
teams don't have Ivan Tony though.
That's true.
And then Benmo, and there's a few other people.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Ben
Very
Mee's
true.
been good for them.
Oh, yeah, he's a good man.
Tony leaves and then you got Mbeumo on his own up there.
It's quite hard. Then they would, but they would argue. But they would argue their data model
Yeah.
takes the risk out of it that they already know who the next Tony could be.
Yeah,
Who
because
the-
they sold Watkins,
Yeah.
brought Tony.
Yeah.
So,
That was it.
Do you think Brentford have got it like that?
Fire.
I don't know if Brentford have got it like Brighton,
Yeah.
do, you know?
No. They Brighton, the Brighton owner and the Brentford owner, they're of the same ilk.
yeah,
Professional
yeah,
gamblers.
yeah,
and
they
they
are.
are.
Like, yeah,
Read
yeah.
up on the Brentford owner.
They
Yeah.
both have the same model.
Cambridge educated, super mathematician. Yeah. It's all the data.
Yeah.
Numbers guys.
They got rid of their academy and they're very radical. They do their own thing and what works for them. Yeah. It's an interesting story. So then, kind of working backwards, I'll come to the Liverpool-Leicester game in a second. Let's just finish around us. Leeds 2, Newcastle 2. I mean,
I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't watch that game. I didn't catch up, so I'll leave that to you, boys.
It was frantic. Like, you could, so like the Saturday early game in the sun, and you can see the Leeds fans were up for Sam Allardyce, isn't it? Like, the crowd will get bouncing. They started really well, went 1-0 up, get a penalty to potentially go 2-0 up,
Oh, Bamford misses.
and then the boy Bamford, who I think in the
He's
media,
shocking, man.
he's
I'm
riding
sorry.
off.
I'm sorry.
Not last season, the season before when they first came up under Bielsa,
Yes.
and he had a fairly decent season. Like I was a bit surprised at how well he
It
done.
was an okay season.
Yeah, it's okay for like, and I think a lot of the media are still kind of seeing that player and expecting that to turn up
Yeah.
this season when he's just not that guy. Like he missed a penalty against Arsenal when I think he could have either leveled up the game or gone ahead.
Few injuries though. That's what they're waiting for. Oh, okay, when he's back fit.
Yeah,
proper
but
firing.
he hasn't been great. Missed a good chance against was it Everton that you'd lost to the other week? Missed a penalty. Newcastle go 2-1 up. They get it back to 2-2. But I give them credit. Like when they went 2-1 down, I thought game over. Newcastle going to see this out. But Big Sam does what Big Sam does, and it gets the ball in the mixer, causes a bit of chaos.
Route 1.
But I'm
Route one.
gonna turn to our Sam Allardyce correspondent.
And fair play to them, man. I thought they would have been dead and buried after, after you miss a penalty, then the team scores straight afterwards. You kind of
and
have
then
to
you
go
give it
down.
like the mentality of that season.
Yeah.
But I think there are sometimes it can be a bit of a shit, but sometimes you see with teams at the bottom, there's a game that kind of encapsulates their season in 90 minutes.
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
Put lack of quality, missing penalties, making stupid decisions. We talked about this in the group. And they felt like this match had all of that, the sending off, the missed penalty.
Furpo.
What a Wally.
What kind of player is that, bro?
Well,
Nah, he's
It was like he was working against them. Like,
Really?
yeah.
everything he was doing was just mad.
if it was a drama, I'd be like match fixing.
Really?
That's been Firpo since he joined Leeds, though. He's not really been.
Yeah.
He wasn't great. He wasn't great at Barcelona.
No, he wasn't. I'm surprised.
I
he
don't
was
know
at
how
Barcelona.
these men get into the
I swear
Barcelonas
down.
and
Catchment area and everything.
But yeah, I think the
Emerson Royale.
It's the spreader. I don't know how funny he is.
yeah the pressure
I can't see the rationale.
the pressure might be getting to Newcastle. I said they might not make it last week.
If they don't, is that a bottle
And
job?
Because they've been in top 4 all season. Like
Might not
yeah.
make top 4.
I said
Newcastle will make top 4.
I said last week Newcastle won't make top 4.
Wow, you did.
Yo.
Wow.
And they've
I
got
think they
Brighton.
will.
Is
They've
that
got
a
Brighton.
bottle job?
That's an absolute
Yeah, of course it
failure.
is.
Hold on.
They got Brighton on Thursday.
Wait.
Ooh.
But remember, let's be clear. Newcastle have only played 35 games where a lot of people have played 36.
Yeah.
They got Brighton on Thursday. I think that's going to be a
And
game.
then
How many
still
points
have
ahead
another
of
2
you? Like
games.
5 points ahead of you.
no,
They
four.
even
They've got
same points as Man
they've got
United.
Leicester.
Yeah,
They've got
same.
Leicester and Chelsea after Brighton, right?
Leicester's a win.
Chelsea
Oh,
not
blimey.
necessarily a win.
Never know, you know.
Oi.
That's mad because I said it's going to be.
How have they got here?
Man
All they
United
need
and
is 4 points
Liverpool.
from
No.
3 games.
So wait, how many points are
I can
they
see
ahead
draws.
of
I can see
Liverpool?
draws.
How many
I'm not
points?
saying
are
they'll
they
lose.
ahead
They're
of
Liverpool.
1 point ahead of us.
They're 1 point ahead of Liverpool,
But they got one game in hand.
and they've got one game in hand.
Yeah.
And their
But they've
game in
got to play
hand
Brighton and
is
Chelsea.
Brighton.
Brighton.
Yeah, but knowing Brighton, they'll go over there and lose 3-0, bruv.
Nah, bro. I've seen it. It's a bit
Brighton are
squeaky,
different,
bro.
yeah.
I need Brighton
Ah,
to
They
win.
need
Newcastle
4
ain't
points.
looking
You
good
think-
in the light right now.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know. I think Man United are going to fail.
That's what I said.
Nah.
I think it's going to be Newcastle and Liverpool top 4.
Man
Yeah,
United got
yeah,
Bournemouth
yeah.
next.
And who? Fulham. That's the Fulham. William.
Mitchell
Brace.
is back.
Mitro's back.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah, I'm
he-
surprised
and he
Newcastle
scored.
Mitro's
didn't win the game.
And he
Man.
scored.
I thought when they
Yeah.
went 2-1 up, I thought they would have seen it out. Decision.
I'll be real with you. What else have they got to play for the rest of the season?
Two.
Secure top 4. They need 4 points.
But
From
if
3
you're them,
games.
you want to come third in it, just for like the financial benefits of coming third.
But they've got Saudi
And-
owners. They don't care about.
No, I know that.
I know what you mean.
They don't
Euro-
care.
Eu-
You know what
Europa
I
League
agree,
is
bro.
calm
You don't
for
want
them.
to. You don't want to be third for that long, and then it comes down to the wire that much. But I think for them, they're ahead of plan as well, right? Champions League this season was not in the plan.
Yeah,
No.
Not with that manager, not with that spend. No disrespect, Eddie.
Yeah.
But you know that it was almost the Man City thing again. You know, they had Mark Hughes, get some players in, etc., etc. So yeah, I think I still don't see them dropping out. I mean, but Man United, they've got Bournemouth away. Are Bournemouth safe yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Did
they
you
got-
not see their tweet?
Oh yeah.
Ratings for that still.
But then they've got Bournemouth away. They got Chelsea at home and Fulham at home. 2 home games. But Man United are so
Unpredictable.
I can
Unpredictable.
see, I can see
Yeah.
Bournemouth getting a draw. I can see Fulham getting something.
Chelsea again.
Just a
nothing
draw
out of it.
for Bournemouth.
So
We
you
just
never
need
know, innit?
Liverpool.
But
Just need United to drop points in one game.
And Liverpool.
That's
have
when
got who?
then the heat will be on. The Heat will be
Yeah,
on.
we
If
got
they go,
Villa.
they're going to
We
Brighton.
got Villa and Southampton.
Brighton, if they lose,
Oh, well.
You lot could lose to
Southampton.
Villa, you know.
Yeah, no, Villa's
Anfield.
not an easy game.
It's not an
Now
easy game.
it's
At
at
Anfield,
I don't think we
man.
lose to them at
Stop
Anfield.
it.
Yeah, no.
At Anfield.
Yeah, I know.
Imagine.
Fortress.
Bro,
Yeah.
this season ain't for that.
You
At
gotta drop-
Anfield
you gotta get
business.
them
Yeah, we would destroy them.
Not
At,
this
we
season.
would destroy them
Okay.
at Anfield if we went
That's
for your
fair.
boy, innit?
That's fair. Like I give you that. But if you look at our current run,
Current run's good.
it's very good.
Bit
Best
late.
in the
Bit
league.
late.
The best.
Bit late.
What,
Late
you
on-
wouldn't say you've been scraping victories?
Scraping
What,
victory.
barring today, you wouldn't say you've been scraping victories?
So if right now, I would have taken script
You've got
victories,
your-
mate.
I would have taken them. I would have
You've
taken
got
them.
your
I would have
anti-Liverpool hat
taken
on
them,
today.
but let's not be going
No,
like,
not
oh,
scraping.
our last
All right,
couple of games.
let's work.
Win's
for
a
the rest,
win, B.
Let's work for the rest of the results. Villa 2, Spurs 1. That boy Emery's still rolling.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur.
Harry Kane got his.
Never a
He's a-
penalty, by the way.
Never,
Never a penalty.
Bruv.
never a penalty.
Never a penalty.
What's going on there? Arcade.
That's a fine, isn't it?
That man's at Namco or something. Harry Kane got his octagon.
Stat padding.
It's
It's fine.
it's
innit?
house,
Allow him,
house,
man.
but
Allow him, man.
listen,
I'm
let's
talking
just-
to this one over here.
Wait, no, but let's get this straight. I'm not saying it because I don't rate him. I'm saying it because I rate him so much that he should be somewhere else
Exactly.
where
Yeah.
it can reflect his level. Do
Where
you understand
those
what I'm
goals also now mean.
saying? Yeah, and he's got
something.
people around him that when he scores, they haven't leaked 2 goals already. Do you know what I mean? It's
But
just-
this just feels like regurgitation, though, man. He's just doing his job, man.
no,
He's doing
but
his
he's
job
going
and
to do
doing
it
it
somewhere
well.
else where it's going to
Yeah,
matter.
but let the
What
season
job is he
finish.
doing?
We've established that he needs to go somewhere else. Let
What
the
job is
season
he
finish.
doing?
What job is he doing? Banging in goals. What else is he
For
supposed
what?
to be doing?
Just goes. Just nothing's
No,
coming.
but bro, you need to score, though, innit? You need to score. You can't go to work
What,
and
when did he score the penalty? What time was it?
To be fair, he's got
90th
bare
minute.
penalties. though.
Oh, that's-
Jeez.
And then,
That's a good time to score.
to be fair, Son scored after that, but he got ruled out for offside. But yeah, Villa played better than them. Tottenham.
The thing that's crazy about
bit on
Spurs
holiday,
is
innit?
they got 1 win in the last 5. But they're still 7th. It just shows you where they were
Mm.
before they just fell away. There was, same points as Villa.
They were top 3, no?
Mate,
Do you think
Yeah.
Conte would have done it?
they
Yeah,
would have 100%.
Yeah,
It
easy.
wouldn't have been nice to watch.
But they would have got there.
We would have loved the press conferences, but he would have got there. He would have told Levy about himself every week. Send the indirects. Yeah, but they would have got there. Villa are now on the same points as them. 2 wins in the last
That's
5.
crazy.
Got Poole next away. They needed that win. They need to bank that win before they went to Fortress Anfield and that. It's a real bunch up. Brighton are 58 points, but they got 2 games in hand on everyone around them. So that's they got 4 games left, potential 12 points. That would put them on 70 points. Like all else being equal, yeah, that Brighton could do a sneaky job.
For Europa. That
Conference, innit?
Mm.
If they jump over
They've got
Tottenham, then I
Newcastle,
think they're
as
in
you
the conference league.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
And
No,
then
they're
Tottenham
above
will be
Tottenham
out of everything.
They're above Tottenham now.
Are they?
Yeah,
I
they're
thought they was
sixth.
on the same point.
Yeah, that's Europa League.
Tottenham
Yeah,
are 58.
Brighton should bank Europa League. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with 3 games, with
What,
2 games in
Europa
hand.
or conference?
No, Brighton should bank Europa.
Europa proper.
Brighton will do well in Europa.
Yeah.
And then Villa are
Conference
chasing
is
conference.
Villa and Spurs.
Yeah, sorry, Villa.
Yeah,
Yeah, Villa,
Spurs.
Villa should bank conference, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a tight one. It's a tight one.
7th is the last spot, innit?
And that mid-table that wasn't there has now kind of formed because the drop-off from Fulham to Chelsea is 8 points now. So that mid-table has formed.
Yeah, Chelsea can't finish in the top half of the table.
No, it's not possible.
Bonkers, isn't it?
It's just
That's crazy.
it's a bit of a mad statistic.
You was with him not
I'm
long
not
ago,
gonna lie. Well, not considering what Frank's been doing, but it's a bit of a mad statistic.
Yeah, they did well to get rid of or jump away from Chelsea. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Liverpool.
Done well.
Done very well.
Mate. So
Thanks.
moving
Very
on,
well.
Chelsea
Achievement.
2,
Good late run, innit?
Chelsea 2, Forest 2. I mean, what are we gonna say that we haven't saw already?
It's nothing.
So somebody in one of my groups they call him Pastor our knee.
Pastor Ashley Malone. Do you remember? He
And
does
again-
look like him. He does kind of look like
Chelsea
him.
get themselves ahead, but then you concede.
Sloppy goals.
It's just
I don't know why was Kepa injured. I don't know why he dropped Kepa for Mendy. Like, not that Kepa's amazing, but
he's not at the
Mendy.
best
Both
time
as
recently,
bad
has
as
he?
each other.
Mendy, Mendy's like
Mendy was
first half
doing-
of his career at Chelsea was
Yeah,
really good. Like
really
he came
good.
in, won Champions League, all the
I
trophies.
thought he started getting awry after the injury.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, he was out for a while because of
But
an injury.
That
To be fair,
first goal.
When Frank was there, he showed that he's not hesitant to drop keeper. Like a lot of managers, they don't like dropping the keeper. Even if a few clangers, they want to give that stability. Even in his previous reign, he would chop and chase them. He didn't seem to care. But yeah, as you just said, Chelsea can't make top four. Forest still getting the points. We'll come to the relegation back in a minute. Man United 2, Wolves 0. Again, they've inconsistent Man United. They've turned out another 3 points. If Man United or Newcastle let Liverpool sneak in, that is just a disgrace.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah,
Just on Diallo, who's a loan from Sunderland.
Yeah.
What a player.
At Sunderland from
Yes.
United.
Yes.
This is free kick,
He's
bro.
goal.
Oh, jeez.
And he's been consistent all season.
Oh,
Question: does Ten Hag trust him next season?
no.
If yes, what does that say for Sancho?
Gone.
Sancho? Anthony?
No.
What does that say for Anthony?
Anthony's secure.
Anthony's
Anthony
cool.
will stay.
Anthony's secure.
Remember, he managed him at Ajax.
No,
he
I know.
knows what he can do.
No, Anthony's secure, but again, if Ahmed just comes in and plays,
Slaps.
obviously it's Premier League, right? So he might score less
Sancho
goals,
ain't
etc.
touching pitch.
His output will be way higher than we've seen from Andy this season.
Okay.
So we say good
I
push.
understand. I understand why he says Anthony because they both play on the same side.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
not
right.
yeah.
But did
Because
you
Diallo
switch it?
doesn't play off the left.
No.
He can.
Yeah.
At the few games I've watched of Sunderland, he's been more in the middle, but middle to right.
I think Sancho has a different problem. I think Ten Hag doesn't see him as one of the wide forwards. He sees him as probably a bit of a 10 in today's era. If he can't deliver there, I think he's gone.
And then also another point: do you think Garnacho might hinder Diallo?
Well,
No.
I think it's a good point. And I think if you're Manchester United, you need reinforcements to that team. Someone has gone out on loan and done what you're supposed to do on loan, right? They've gone out on loan, they've produced, and they've produced in a way that has tangibly helped that team achieve. Do you go out and spend a gazillion pounds on the next thing, or that guy's earned his chance, no?
So
And not just pre-season chance.
So here's the thing, right? They've got a few options in that in the wide areas.
Yeah.
They've got Elanga, Garnacho,
Mm.
Diallo coming back, Sancho, Anthony, Rashford,
Yes.
Yeah.
Alanga's gone.
Greenwood.
Gone.
Go on.
He's good. He's gone, but he's still
He's
an
on the
option,
books, yeah.
right? He's on the books. Martial, right? That's what.
Martial, that's mad. That one, you're not getting away with that one. No.
Hey, Rosetta Stone, allow it. Wait, what did I do?
No.
Why are you doing Duolingo over there?
No,
Who's Martial, bro?
I backed you on the last one. No way. Can't get away with that.
Wow.
Is that better?
Thank you.
You're doing it on purpose. You're doing it on purpose. They did it on purpose.
They've got
Martial. Oh my days.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
It was
all
so
right.
bad. I had to wait for someone to say because I thought it's not news, is it?
Bro.
Martial.
So yeah, eight attacking options.
All right. All right. Compose yourselves. I see. It's cool. They've got 8 attacking options, right?
Mm.
They're really only going to be using 5 of them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which will mean 3 are probably either
Sorry,
Old
when you say
bench
attacking,
or
is it just
goal.
are you just talking from a wing point of view? You're talking across the
across
front.
the-
across the
Okay,
3.
cool. Yeah.
Across
They're
the
gonna
3.
sign as well. They
Right,
have to
and they're
sign
probably going to
striker.
look to bring someone in, a striker.
Yeah.
I think.
I think
We've
they
not
need to
even
sign a
considered.
nine.
We've not even considered Woot because Woot's out the door.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gone.
So they're going to need a striker. So
Mm.
there's going to be someone else coming in,
I
right?
love the way you could do Woot calmly, but the other
Bro,
the lower difficulty ones, man's do remix. Anyway, sorry.
I don't even know if it's Woot, but anyway.
I'm sure it's wow.
It's all
Stop
mad.
with the names. Go on.
It's all mad.
Please.
Oh, I'm done, you know.
Come on.
All right.
Oh, God.
So I personally,
Mm.
I think Sancho's at the bottom of the pecking
But
order.
who's going to buy Sancho? Bro, his wages are mad.
I think
I think
he's
he's at
got
the
enough
bottom of the
credit in the
pecking
bank.
Man,
I don't
United
think he's
are just
got.
idiots.
I don't think he's got any credit. I don't think he's got any
wild.
credit.
This could have sounded a bit wild, but maybe not to go back to a Dortmund, but I wouldn't be surprised. And let's take the personality of, I don't know him, but let's just take the perceived personality of Sancho, etc. But that type of player in the past, we've seen them have to go to a Sevilla or somewhere like that play your game, score your goals in that league, do well in Europa League, and then come back
But
up.
do you know why they do that though? It's because there's no distractions.
Yeah.
There's no distractions in
I
these
think
other countries.
he's best outside of the Prem.
There's no
not even
distractions.
the Prem.
He's
outside
come back
of
to he's
England.
come back to the UK and they're doing private jet IC on the
But he
plane.
did that in Dortmund though.
But there's
Yeah,
no
when they
scrutiny
linked up
though.
for England, they did.
But you've got to understand, he's in a country where he doesn't really speak. He doesn't speak the language. It's just ball.
I think
Right?
there were a few factors that came together. Playing
It's
with
just
Haaland, the counter-attacking style that Dortmund played when he was there. I think there's a few things that come together.
So that
But
style,
yeah.
that style of play, the lifestyle, it benefited, right? Because you just go out there and you play ball. A lot of the players that go out there, what do? They just go and play ball because there's nothing else for them.
There's nothing to do.
There's nothing else to do. What are you going to be going out and trying to? Oh, there's a language barrier. Not everyone's going to speak English. So you know what I mean, you're not going to want to be around a player in the squad that can speak German and English all the time. He might have things to do, you know. So then they come back to the UK and our culture, our lifestyle is right on your doorstep. Right?
Yeah.
It's right on your doorstep. You can go to tape.
Nah, let's not.
Do you know what I mean?
that.
No, but you
No,
can't.
no,
No, but T,
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
You're just saying
Right?
the options there, innit?
The
Like the
options are
options
there.
open up.
The
innit?
options are there.
Despite what else we may have heard, you think that that's been a significant enough factor in his lack of delivery here?
That and what is he getting? 300?
The money increase.
I don't even think it's
Your
that. I just
home.
think the level in his position. If you watch German football, which some of us do, it's like 98% of that league sits on the halfway line with a high line. So balls being played over the top, and he was running into acres of space every week. Like it was free. We come to the Prem now, and it's like,
But that's
bruh,
not, but
Play
that's
for
not
Man
the
United,
case.
low block. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not the case for England.
what do you mean?
When he was playing for England, he's not coming up against high lines like that.
But
Well, exactly.
His
That's what
England,
he's
his
doing.
England career
He
wasn't
hasn't had
amazing.
a great England.
Yeah,
No.
like I
He
wouldn't say
hasn't
he's
produced for
flourished.
England as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He's done okay.
Yeah,
He's done
he done
okay.
okay.
He's done.
I wouldn't even say he's done okay. He's not done anything.
I would give him
mate.
okay. He's done
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I think
so
he's
we-
done okay.
So we loop it back to the Man United point. So we think Sancho, whether he's moved on or not, he's not going to be a main
He's not done
feature of that.
He's not done
time.
enough.
Alanga hasn't had enough game time. Surely he's got to be
He's
looking
not good
alone
enough.
or moving on. So that's 2 out of the 6,
Mhm.
right? Who else is
I
there?
think Garnacho will probably.
He just
I
got a
think-
new contract.
I think if I was him, I'm looking for a loan. If
Who,
you can't guarantee me regular
You
ball,
can't- Yeah, facts.
I think he's been integrated next season.
Yeah, I
think so?
I agree. Yeah,
I think the people
just
who
got
go,
just got a
He
new
has to.
contract.
His character as well.
Yeah,
He's like the young CR7. He's ready.
yeah,
So what then? You put Rashford down
he's
the middle.
confident.
Well, I was coming to that. So then you've got Martial. When is Martial's contract? He's got another year after this, I believe.
You need to get rid of him.
So they have to get rid of him if they want any value out of that. And he's not on silly. You know, he's 150 plus.
Mhm.
He's not on low salary. Then you got Rashford, of course. I'm at 5 now, right? So to loop it back to you, Diallo comes in. Could that be 6? So you got 2 for each position, and that's before they acquire anyone. That's before they buy anyone. You know, anyone else. If you say Martial goes, that's well, yeah. We're at 6.
my thoughts.
5.
If Diallo comes in and then he goes out again on loan,
Yeah.
probably to a Prem team this time.
Yeah.
I think that'd be very harsh for him, man. Like
I
if
agree.
he didn't get a
I
chance
agree,
next
but
season,
I don't think.
I think
However,
it'd be very harsh on him.
It's harsh from a simplistic kind of 1+1, but I'm Ten Hag. I know what I want. So it's not a stain on what you did at Sunderland. If you come back and
That's
the
the next
level
level.
and how you do it is not what I need,
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
great,
Yeah.
but out. And that's where the specifics of it come in. Do you know what I mean? What do you think, Mark?
Even if
Man
they
United.
send him straight back on loan after coming from Sunderland, I still think that's like a,
So what do you do?
pat
Send
on
him
the
to
back,
high
you
level
don't-
team?
A Prem
Yeah,
load.
play
Prem-
to a
a
Prem
Prem
loan,
team.
yeah. Send him to Brentford or Brighton,
Palace?
Palace. I think that's still like,
Nah,
yeah, you've done
One
well.
of the teams coming up, maybe. Why not?
Man said no
I
Palace.
wouldn't even say one of the teams that's coming up because that's
Why
not.
not?
To be fair, Burnley play ball.
The Burnley play ball.
Burnley
Yeah,
play
it's true.
ball.
It's
Nah, I
true.
think Diallo at Palace.
Would he start though?
Zaha's going to be gone. Because Zaha's
Yeah, I
contract
reckon-
ends at
I
the end of the
reckon he
season, right?
starts still.
Yeah. What
Can
would
we,
surprise
can we
me?
talk about Alice quickly?
Yeah. That's the next game.
Eze's second goal.
Eze,
I've not
The
heard enough
touch.
people talk about it.
the touch.
The pass.
We've called for them to up it. They've upped it.
Yeah.
They've upped
Roy, mate, I'm sorry.
Listen, Roy come out and he's got them playing real South London ball, bro.
Hey, listen. Roy came
They
back
are
and said,
balling.
you know when managers, when they're out of work, they say, I went to watch this team play. I went to train. Bro, Roy just went to pits in Norbury. He just went to, Roy went to goals in Norbury. I said, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the kind of lads I'm going to have.
Because
It's been a total turnaround.
balling.
Yeah,
and Eze said after the game, they were like, "Oh, what's Roy done?" And he was just like, "He's giving me freedom." Like he you know, when someone said something and they get happy, like,
But do you know what?
Just
This
give me
is the
freedom.
Eze. This is the Eze.
Telling you, man.
Yeah, it looks nuts. It looks
looks
real
nuts,
nuts
man.
right now.
Yeah,
This
man.
is the Eze that was at Reading.
Yeah.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is
Oh,
the
yeah.
These are the
Eze.
clips you were seeing, right?
Yeah.
Picking up
That
the ball,
was-
driving. Yeah.
Not
Picking
even just
up the
Reading. This is
ball,
the Eze in his early spell at Crystal Palace.
dribbling, moving past players, real
Yeah, but-
comfortable, passing, touch.
Yeah, but the pass from Elise, the touch, the run, the finish. Yeah, I can't believe more people ain't raving about the goal.
They
from
Steve
Elise.
Parrish, sorry
They
as well,
keep that
fella.
up. They're moving.
I think
Straight.
I
If they
think
keep
I
that,
think,
they're moving.
I think their summer should be on bringing in a really good
Number 9.
Yes, please.
I don't know, not necessarily a number 9. I don't think that's
think so?
top priority. I don't think that's top priority.
Bro.
They need one, but I don't think it's top priority. I think they need someone in the midfield that is good enough to lift the level and
Freedom up.
This is going to sound a bit mad,
Yeah.
but whoever's Onana today, so you see when Everton brought Onana,
yes,
that's who
Yes.
Palace needs to go.
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
Whoever's
yes.
the next Onana, because it's affordable,
Lavia.
it's a stepping stone.
yes.
If
Yeah.
you're Lavia,
Even if
do
Everton
you
go
to
down on
King
Onana,
Palace?
Wait, look. Everton go down on Onana himself.
Yeah, why not? Onana or Lavia.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
Lavia goes
No,
to
the only
Palace.
reason, sorry, the only reason I said that is I think there are going to be teams with slightly better prospects
Yeah.
than Palace ringing Lavia's agent.
Exactly.
And
Because the
rea-
way he's played this season,
the reason why I say I don't think a top striker is their priority, because if they shore up behind Elise and Eze,
Yeah, it's true.
and if let's just say Zaha stays, Elise, Eze, Zaha stays, or Zaha goes and they replace him with someone else, maybe
Like for
that
like.
they used a like for like, or they use his wages to bring in a decent
and I
striker.
just remind you of the three strikers in
It
the squad.
allows their attacking to just attack.
So
and
we're
be
just going to
great.
play a little game. I'm going to tell you the 3 number 9s in the squad now, and then you let me know if your opinion changes slightly.
Mhm.
Keith's favourite.
I know the three of them.
Mateta. I'll be
Mhm.
careful with names because I don't want to. I don't want to be a clip.
He went from braids to baldy.
Yes, the stress.
Where it all went
See,
wrong.
Pat, you see what you did. And then Edward.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm surprised about Edouard. You know?
I'm very surprised.
Considering, like, obviously,
Why?
Go on.
the Scottish League is not the pinnacle of football, but his numbers in Scotland were fairly decent.
Yeah, they were decent.
So I thought coming down to someone like Crystal Palace, he would get you your
He'd
Still the
10.
Prem.
he'd get a few goals.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think we'd get
Still
you
the Prem.
your
I'm not
10 goals.
I'm not
I'm not
having
having
it.
it. It's still the
I'm not
Prem.
having it.
Sorry, it's still the
I
Prem.
can't look at the. You cannot look at the Scottish League. No disrespect.
That's disrespect.
No, it's
You
not.
can't say no
and I'm
disrespect.
fully
It's
disrespect.
It's
Disrespect
not.
Disrespect the thing, bro.
Full disrespect. You can't say disrespect the thing. Allow it. And you can't say it's not disrespect. It's disrespect.
Listen to what I'm saying.
You
to
know when you say no offense?
No, that's what I'm saying. You're
Listen, look.
No
Look.
offense, but your butters.
Look, all right, I get it. I know that is exactly what it is. I get it. You play what's in front of you,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah.
Scottish League is the Scottish League.
Yeah.
That's their top level.
Champions League qualification.
They listen. It is what it is. But that being said, there is a clear gap between the Scottish Prem and
There
the
is.
English Prem, right?
There is.
Yeah.
Just because a man is in the Scottish Prem banging goals doesn't mean that's going to then come and translate down.
Yeah, but not to the level
in
that
the
he
Prem.
hasn't performed though. He's literally been a completely different player. To the
But he was
player
a Pat siding, right?
He
was a Vieira side.
Yeah, he was.
And the thing is, I'm willing to give everyone there a little bit. If you're on Vieira side, you played through that era, I'm willing to give you a little bit of grace because we've seen that clearly things weren't working for the squad as a whole, right?
I feel like the better defenders come out of Scotland than strikers.
Yeah, I think back in
I
the day, you
agree
used to
with that.
get better quality of players coming down, but I think the quality's dropped off.
Mm.
I mean, if you
No.
look at his stats, did he even light up Scotland like that? Oh man, I mean,
got
bruv,
decent
even in the
numbers in
Scottish
Scotland,
league, yeah, I mean, he got 15 goals one season, 22 goals another season, 18 goals another season. So he was decent. 66 goals in 116 games. Okay,
What
one
would
in
you
two.
rather, what would you rather? Those stats in Scotland or the Championship?
You get more
question.
money. You get
Championship.
more-
Great
you get more-
question.
Yeah,
Nah,
championship.
won it
Disrespecting the
championship.
Scottish League.
Great
but
question.
Championship.
Yeah. I won a
Great
championship.
question.
Championship.
The only reason I'll buy you with those numbers in Scotland if you also did a bit in the Champions League. Because whoever's
Do
winning
you
the
think
Scottish
that's-
League is in the
do-
Champions
do-
League.
Would you?
That's only.
Sometimes I
that's-
look at them things, yeah, but sometimes I feel like when you're in them, like you're at Rangers, you're in the Champions League, or Celtic, you're in the Champions League, you're facing Real Madrid or something like that. You're gonna play out your skin, bro. You're gonna play out of your skin.
That's the only extenuating factor I'll give you. But Championship, 46 games.
You're just happy to be there.
What's the name of the striker that at Burnley? The one that got on loan. Nathan Teller, I want to say his name.
Tenor,
Teller. You know,
Teller.
that you doing that in the Championship every week. You give me those same goals in Scotland, I'm rating the Championship one a little bit higher, personally. I think the standard of the Championship is higher. I'm not necessarily sure Rangers or the winner of the Scottish Premier League go and win the Championship next season. Or even finish in automatic promotion. I don't
Where do you think they
it's
finish in the league, in the Premier League?
playoffs.
No, in the Premier League. Where do you think the
Who? Rangers or Celtic?
Rangers and Celtic? Don't think they cut it?
What's the place above relegation?
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Bottom half is more respectful than...
Okay. Let me look.
No,
let me
but
look
if you
back
put
up. I
their
think-
teams up
Well,
against,
the quality in Scotland has dropped massively.
Yeah, if you
like
put
10,
their team up
15 years
against-
ago, you were getting a better quality player going to Scotland, and I would say they would have slightly competed a bit more.
Man, like
Now-
George Samaras and them.
Bruv, look at the people that were in Scotland. Gattuso. Like, even if you take it all the way back, Henrik Larsson.
Them
Nah,
Yeah,
there was a
Laudrup.
time when the
Laudrup.
Scottish League
Nakata.
was-
Yeah, Laudrup.
Yeah.
bad boy,
Who's that?
Nakata.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sick,
Yeah.
bro.
Bro, listen.
Yeah, sick.
So yeah, I think, anyway, I do think they need I think you're right. I think they need
I think
That-
they need a striker.
they need that midfielder. So
They need a midfielder that's going to give them the freedom to go and do what
and
they
be
need to
dynamic and play the current
do.
game.
Exactly.
Basically, do what Lokonga hasn't done, what he was supposed to do at
I
Arsenal.
don't really play that.
Or
I haven't seen him.
even what Party was doing up to a certain point.
Yeah.
Party,
yeah.
you had that confidence. Odegaard would have that. I'm sorry, man.
No,
It's
it's
not
Don't be
banner.
sorry, I'm with you,
It's
bro.
not
Don't-
banner,
don't be
but
sorry, I'm with you, bro.
Odegaard can go and do what he needs to do
Someone
because
sweeping.
Party and Xhaka, but more so Party is sweeping up behind him. Or Kante, or like Lampard was allowed to do with Essien and Makaleli behind him.
But at the moment, if he's not playing Lokonga, the Beard, I can't say his name, so I'll just call him the Beard. The Beard plays sometimes. Mihajlovic, I think, is that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Mihajlovic.
And
not
then there's
Mihajlovic.
another.
It is Mihajlovic.
There's probably got 2 or 3 people in that position, but I think they need
tried,
to
bro.
shore that up. I think fullback,
he's
the final
retired.
client is still playing.
You mean
Doing a job?
Milivojevic?
Milivojevic.
I told you, that's
Yeah,
why I said
Mihajlovic.
Milivojevic.
Boom.
Mihajlovic.
Wow. Whoa. Silencia, yeah.
That one was bad as... Shall I bring it back up again?
Martial.
I mean, the final client is still there and started. He's doing a job, but
Yeah.
you know,
They-
Crystal Palace are not going to go out and get 6 players, but you could just see areas where, look,
They need
Roy,
to
you finished
improve.
strong, but between loans and permanents, can you just
Teams
upturn
like,
it a bit?
yeah, teams like that, they have to get it right.
Yeah.
They don't have the funds, the
Make
resources to go and
Yeah.
let's try that. They have to get that one key signing and get it right
And then a couple of good loans.
But
around.
they got Anderson, a centre back. Like,
I like him.
I think he's really good.
Yeah,
He
he's
can- he
Anderson
can
and
play-
Gahey.
Yeah. So
Him and Gahey are good together.
in certain areas they've got it, and then like you say, I think the striker. I think they might need 2 midfielders to be honest.
Sell all their strikers. Might as well.
Big
Sell all
And,
the
yeah,
strikers.
I'm with you.
And
if,
just go in.
we don't know who could be managed there next season, but they're not far off based on what you've seen Roy do in the last 2 months. So.
Roy's got to stay on in it if they can't find
Well,
the
this
manager.
was next question I'm going to ask. So Steve Barrage has made one difficult decision this season, and he got that right.
The
Spot
right
on.
decision.
Yeah, spot on.
Roy might tell him at the end of the season and be like, thanks. I know I'm not asking my worker. Let me leave at a high. I was supposed to be retired, etc. What do you do now? I actually think that what
don't
Roy
keep
has
him.
done with that team has shown.
What?
I think
There's now coaches that Steve Parish can pick up the phone and have a different conversation with
Yes.
than before Roy got there.
Yes.
Because
I
he's showed the potential of that squad.
exactly. So that's why you don't keep him.
Yeah,
I
but
think-
I'm
I
saying
don't- I
though,
don't
if you
think-
can't find the right guy.
Oh, they exhaust
No,
me
I think to Coco's point, him coming in and giving him that freedom, managers are now looking at that team.
Thinking,
Maybe
"Ooh,
under
all right."
Vieira, they were like,
Yeah.
Under Hodgson, they're like, do you know what?
But
could
you've
do
got to be
something
able
with
to.
that squad,
you,
you
but
know.
you've got to be able to replicate like for like, pretty much, and that's going to be hard. If
What
I'm
do you mean?
Parish,
Yeah.
no, so I'm saying if a new manager comes in,
Oh, yeah.
like if
Yeah.
I'm Parish, I'm going. I'm letting Roy decide
Yeah,
for at least the next
exactly.
season.
No, but that's why I threw it in there. What if Roy says, I'm done? Thanks.
He's got to
Got
come
my
into
contract.
the interview process then.
Steve is.
He's got
On
to
the
come in
board,
the interview.
on the panel, yeah.
He's got to interview some of these guys.
So is this where now? So if we circle back a little bit earlier, we talk about clubs with process who have a process for identifying technical staff as well as players, etc. This is where if Palace have that in place, they go and find their own Potter, or they go and find their
Parish has
own
got to be
Thomas
having
Frank.
that conversation with Roy now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to leave it until like the middle of the start of
I
June.
think Paris had it before when they started. Look,
Yeah.
Roy, if this goes really well, what are you saying? And Roy says, talk to me in the season, or I don't care if I win the league, I'm out. I think they've had that conversation up front, and then they've had it a couple of more times since. But it's not, he saved this season, but I still think Paris is come around very quickly. He's got another difficult decision to make.
Yeah.
Because even if Roy says, I want to stay on, again, strategically, is that the right decision to make? Or is it another short-termist view?
I think it will be another short-termist view, but I think if Roy does decide to leave, Parish needs to hire another manager that is going to give the players the same freedom.
Yes.
Because obviously whatever Pat did before wasn't working.
I mean, they've got two. They've got what works and what doesn't work, right?
They've had it in one season.
In one season, you've seen what works and what doesn't work. And when players are coming out and saying, "Well, I've got the freedom now to express myself,"
you need to build on it.
So then you need a manager that's going to come in and
Do the same thing.
that's got a similar style. All right, cool.
All right. So Southampton 0, Fulham 2. Southampton confirmed as relegated.
Rest in peace.
Do they come back
After 11 years.
next season?
I'll be honest. It depends. Same old thing with relegated clubs. Who do they keep? Who can they bring in? And then also from a manager point of view, I think they could see what he was trying to do, what he was trying to execute. So maybe they keep him. Parachute money. You can bring people in.
They might actually come back up.
I think
Who are they
come
going to
back
sell?
They had 3 managers this season. Let's not forget that.
Can you imagine? Joe Aribo came from Rangers, Champions League.
Yeah.
Title challenge.
But what you got to say though,
went to Southampton and got relegated.
I'm sure he's making more money though,
That's mad.
even with the relegation clause in his contract.
all their signings in summer
mate.
last year and in January, none of them had any Premiership experience.
Yeah.
I know they tried to do it young.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard to try and build a squad and team with signings that have got no Premiership
That's
do you
always
think
been the
at all.
case with Southampton.
But do you think there was one eye on with what we've got now? Let's build a team that if we stay up, it's an achievement. But if we go down, they can do well in the Championship. Bearing that in mind, because why would you sign all these players with?
No.
You didn't even go and get an older. You don't think there was one eye on how this squad could be kept together in the
The
Championship?
key issue that they had was letting Romeo go, number one. Romeo.
Yes.
They let him go and they didn't bring anyone else in to partner James Ward-Prowse in that middle.
Yeah.
Right? Effectively, they brought in good players, but they didn't bring someone good enough.
Surely
or
he's got to move on.
experienced enough.
Ward-Prowse.
Right?
In the
And
Championship.
I'd say
and to the point of buying young, I mean, Van Dijk didn't have Premiership experience. Mane didn't. Lallana didn't.
But
Luke
what
Shaw.
I'm saying is, though they
None of them.
didn't sign all those players at once. Like you can't go out and buy 8 or 9 players, and none of them have any Premiership experience and expect the team
And
to
that's
come
why
in.
you don't let key
and
players go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And I think like everyone's raving about Lavia, but I don't think he started the season that great. Like
No,
he's
he
taken
did.
him a while.
He did.
Yeah,
No,
he
he
grew
did.
too.
No,
No, I don't
did.
think he hit the ground running.
Lavia and Bella Kotchap. I remember going in the group chat and I saying, who are these two youngers? Because they are balling right now. And that was towards the end, the start of the
Okay,
season.
fair enough. But
I think you're right, but it wasn't consistent every week, and not at the level that Southampton needed to maintain.
It could have
And
been
also,
consistent. They're bottom.
when-
So they've been bottom.
when they got rid of Ralph, I think they went for the up and coming English manager in Nathan Jones, and I can understand why they done it. But
That's where they. That's
yeah,
where
I think
I agree
they should have
with
gone
you.
for someone
big
like a big Sam, a big Sam. Like,
Marley.
But then- but then it circles back saying, how do these young English managers do they get given a chance, etc. When you look at his record at Luton, he done pretty well. You could say,
But how long
he done
I
enough
don't think
to-
you give. I think that's a poison chalice, right?
It is.
You can't give a new up and coming manager
that kind of job.
that kind of job because it tarnishes him if it doesn't work, and then you lot are up the creek. Do you
And I
know
don't
what
think
mean?
his body of work at Luton was long enough.
when we had
or
2
was
spells
substantial
there,
enough.
though.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
He went somewhere else and came back, right? So it's a slightly different question then. So that's what goes down. James Ward-Prowse is the jewel in their crown, highest paid player.
Yeah,
all that
he's
stuff.
staying there.
He's 28. Fine, he's not staying. Who should pick him up? If you're James,
Even Palace could do with him.
Yeah.
but if I'm James Ward-Prowse,
Spurs.
I just suck with that boat. I might go to Palace.
Spurs.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
just a
the
bit,
skip is rubbish.
bro.
And Harry Winks is at Sampdoria. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Hey, Winks is living the.
I think Tottenham's a good
I think
move
Spurs.
Villa?
for him, to be honest.
Nah,
Maybe.
does he play
Maybe.
ahead of Douglas Costa? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think
That's
Spurs is
The reason why I don't know about Spurs is because they've got Højbjerg. It's the same player.
Yeah, but how old is
But he gives
Højbjerg?
you goals.
He's
He gives you more goals.
31, 32?
It's because he takes free kicks.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
you
31.
say he takes free kicks.
Nah,
No
he
free
does
kicks
more
will
than
give you
that.
points, man.
Assists as well. Assists.
Don't
Coolness.
reduce his
Yeah.
game like that, bro. I said he takes free kicks, you know.
Keep it
Whoa.
facetious.
Whoa.
Thank you, Keith.
I think Spurs will be a good move for him.
Yeah, I think
that's
I
No,
think
Liverpool might be a cheeky bid.
I don't know if
No,
that's
I wouldn't be
Liverpool.
surprised. Listen, that's one thing I'll give Klopp ratings for. He's smart. He knows you got to sprinkle a little bit of that in. He's not. Henderson. If Henderson goes, there will be a Henderson type player in the squad in that way. I wouldn't be surprised if he.
it's what we were saying before.
I wouldn't.
Let them take James Ward-Prowse
Yeah.
and let me and see if you're better than Arsenal next season.
Oh wow.
Take James Ward-Prowse and see if you're better than Arsenal next season.
Boy.
What did I say
And
about
do you
Milner
know
earlier?
as well,
It's true.
he ain't got the legs, man.
Yeah, that's true. For
He ain't
your
got
team,
the legs
yeah.
for a club team.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Or does he do the one club? Does he become the new agent
Nah,
to
he
and ride
bouncing.
it out?
He's
Nah.
bouncing.
That's
Bro, he's
out
not
the
playing for
window.
England again. Playing
Well,
in
you
the
said that
Championship.
relegation clause is gonna sting, yeah.
No, he never
He's
know.
out.
Playing in the Championship. He's not
Never
playing for England
know.
again.
Well,
He's not.
I don't put anything past Gareth, bro.
Bro,
He's got his favourites. I don't put
I hear
anything
you.
past him.
I hear you. He's not playing for England again.
And then I guess Fulham, good season, still from Silva. The rejuvenation of Willian.
Yeah, third time lucky for Silva.
Yeah,
tried
that's
at Everton
true.
and
Yeah.
Watford, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are they in the table now?
I think they're 9th. Let me just quickly pull that up.
So is that what we're saying is a good season for them?
Yeah, first season back up.
They
Yeah.
started off well, but they kind of
Yeah.
Well, no, they've
Well, this
done
is
a decent
promotion
run.
season, remember?
Yeah,
it's true.
and
Yeah,
no
it's
Mitrovic
true,
for
very
7
true.
games.
Yeah.
Very
You
true.
know what I mean,
Very true.
that's a lot.
Promotion season.
I think he's done it right. To be fair,
Yeah, FA Cup, what semi-final was? Or
yeah, they should have beaten
quarterfinals?
United as well.
Yeah.
Lost their heads.
Quarterfinals, yeah. Oh, yeah, flipping out.
Yeah, like
Lost their heads and it probably cost them in the league as well. Mitrovic is a big
yeah.
player for them.
True.
Yeah.
Big player for them. So it's all shaking out. Let's get to the last fixture. Leicester 0, Liverpool 3.
Zoop, zoop. My boy Trent cooking again.
Salah hat-trick of assists
Is it?
Yep,
Mhm.
yep. Curtis Jones scored 2.
in
Yep.
2 minutes.
Okay.
And Trent
Quietly
In his
going
new
about
position.
business.
I mean, none of us watched the game. We've been here recording.
in his new position.
Well, I want to see how that unfolds.
Tielemans couldn't get near him.
Tielemans couldn't get in their ice cream van, mate. That brother can't move.
I'm just hearing some of the players you lot are reeling off here for Liverpool. And you lot had the cheek to say you're going to be like, when you lot get better next season. It just beggars belief, bro.
It's the same
No,
point though.
but
Head
I'm
loss,
talking
head
about
loss.
Curtis
Head
Jones,
loss.
blood, and talking about they're going to be better than us next
Okay,
season.
but
I can't
no,
believe it.
but
Curtis Jones is not dead. though.
what
He's
I'm gonna
not
say,
dead, but bro,
okay,
come
but
on,
what I'm
man.
gonna say is though,
Curtis Jones at
I said it in the group.
Before you look at me still.
We finished third
Yeah,
off the back of a bad season,
yeah.
and then the next season we were 2 games away from winning the quadruple. So I'm saying
You
we've got
didn't.
history
You didn't.
of bouncing back.
2 games away.
But that's irrelevant. My point, the point I'm trying to make is we've got history of bouncing back. For you to sit there and say,
But
We've
we've
got
got
history
this
of
season
bouncing
are not bouncing back, but you better go and do some
Well, you're not
rejuvenation.
comparing
Let's see.
apples with apples. I understand what you say. You've got history as a club, but I don't think you're comparing apples with apples. And this is the point I was trying to make to Liverpool fan today. I just think you're not going to undo years of neglecting certain areas in one window.
Nah, it's not happening.
Let me not say that.
Let's see.
The likelihood of
It's not
that
happening.
is low.
Let's see.
But what I would say is, from an attacking point of view, I do think that if Núñez just takes an extra 3 seconds, a chance, and Diaz gets back to pre-injury, then attack-wise, no doubt it's
If
all
we
nuts.
sign-
Jota, Gakpo, second season, I get all of that. But you see that midfield?
If we sign 2 capable midfielders and a right back, we're cooking.
Who would you like?
What about the centre-back bit? You know?
Nah, centre
Bro,
backs.
they just
Who would
said
you
two
like?
centre midfielders
Who
and one
would I
right
like?
back.
Centre-back's not a problem.
I'd take McAllister.
Oh, 80 million of
Ugarte, is that his name? I'll take
Who?
him.
Who's that?
Hey, everybody's just making sure
Who is that player?
that the phonetics are correct.
I think his name is Ugarte. Like, I'm just, yeah.
Spell that for me, bro.
Come on, bro. This ain't an English test. Out here, bro.
You even answered me.
I'd say Casado, but the chances of us getting him, I'd say you guys are prime favourites to get him based on what happened in January. So I think if we sign 2 capable centre midfielders and a right back.
That's it.
And wait, what about centre back?
I don't understand.
But why do you keep saying centre back?
Bruv, why do you think?
No, that's a
Okay,
that's a fair question. No,
Because it's not
let
a
me
top
answer. Let me answer.
because it's
Okay.
not a top
All right, so
priority.
It should be.
Why?
No, but okay.
Wow.
Fair
I think it should be second priority.
Fair enough. Van Dijk is not at his peak powers, but the level he's playing at.
Even if he excludes Van
Okay,
Dijk.
let me talk. Let me
Okay,
talk.
go. Do your thing.
Yeah, Mark, let him talk.
Do your thing.
Van Dijk, not at his peak powers, still a dependable Premiership
Okay, we get that.
defender.
Yeah.
Konate, still what? You're sniggering
No,
at
keep going,
Konate.
keep
No,
going.
Rick Knotte.
I rate him still, but
He's better than
bruv,
he's better than Saliba and Gab.
Is this
No,
what
he
we're doing?
isn't.
Is this what we're doing?
100%.
Is
No,
this what
he
we're
isn't.
doing?
Yes, he
Well,
is.
the,
No, he
French-
isn't.
the French
100%.
manager thinks so. So
Wow.
No, he isn't.
Konate starts ahead of Saliba though.
But why does he
That-
start
that
against
for
Saliba?
France.
Saliba's still young, bro.
if you're good enough, you play in it. Simple as. Anyway,
But he's not better than him.
He's not
All right,
better
I
than
can't. He's not better than him.
He's not better.
The only-
Opinions. Go
the
on.
only thing with Matip is his injury record.
Only thing.
Fair enough.
No, allow it.
So you're telling me-
you're
you're
happy
telling-
to go to next season with those 3 centre backs
Liverpool's
back.
defense right now is better than
Gomez
Arsenal's.
as well.
and Gomez as well.
Liverpool's defense right now is better
That's
than
and
Arsenal's.
Gomez.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
When Isaac was moving like this, you weren't having it. You know.
No, he said and Gomez.
You're talking
Yeah.
about centre backs.
Gomez went first.
All right.
Your club
Yeah,
is talking
no,
about centre
right,
backs. Do you
let
want
me-
to have that
Keith,
conversation?
let me just
Even
say-
when-
Wait, guys.
We're
One
still
voice.
better.
One voice.
Let me just say this one last time. Liverpool's defense right now is better than Arsenal's.
All right, cool.
This is it,
No, it isn't.
Wow.
The table disagrees with you.
The table highly disagrees with you.
No.
Highly.
Robertson.
The
If
table
you're going
highly
for-
disagrees with you.
Not even
What we
The
doing?
Robertson.
table
Who's better than
highly
Robertson?
disagrees with you.
Who's better than Robertson? I'll give you Robertson.
I think I'll give you Robertson.
Who's better than Van Dijk?
Me.
I'll give you Van.
Gabriel.
Yes,
This season?
sure.
We doing this season?
No,
No,
just
it's
man
players.
for man. Just
No,
you know.
but yeah,
we can't do
current
man for
form.
man.
We have
The
to
play
see
they are
current
today.
form.
Why the current form?
What do you think?
Because
What do you mean?
Wait.
What do you
Hold
mean?
on.
Van
Hold on.
Dijk. Who's better than Van Dijk?
Hold on.
Who's better than Van Dijk? It's a
Just
very
leave
clear
it.
question.
Saliba or
Hold on.
Gabriel? Take
Hold
your
on.
pick.
No one should be
They're
better than
doing
Van
that
Dijk.
Arsenal.
Guys,
They're doing
what-
that, it's fine.
guys, one
Let them
second.
have it.
No, 1 second. So we can progress this debate properly. Let's talk about the players as they are today.
Okay,
There's no
Van
point
Dijk.
telling me
I'm
Van
still taking Van
Dijk
Dijk
peaked
today.
before,
Right
etc.
now, I'm still
You're
taking Van
taking
Dijk
you're taking Van Dijk over
over
Gabriel.
Saliba and Gabriel.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
As they are today.
Okay.
He's got enough in the bank. That's what it is. It's basically
He's
No,
credible.
we're
credit.
doing one for one. So
He's
go
put
on.
up
You're
credit.
taking Robertson.
Yeah.
You're taking Saliba.
No, I'm taking Van Dijk.
I mean, you're taking
And
Van
who else?
Dijk.
Who else you taking?
Go on.
Konate.
You're taking
Then
Konate.
you're right back
And
to
then
taking
go on.
Trent.
Cool.
You're going mad.
Even look at his face when he
just
said
got
that.
mad.
All right.
He's gone mad.
So
completely mad.
Keith,
Go on.
the point I was making here is that I guess you need to look at it from a slightly different point of view. In my position, in my opinion. So Matip, how old is Matip now?
31, 32.
31, 32. His injury record isn't great, right? So you can't probability wise. The signs are you can't rely on him as a credible partner for Van Dijk over 38 games, right? His injury record at his age doesn't lend to that. Yes?
Yeah.
That's a
Right,
fair,
yeah.
fine. Konate, fine. I think he's a good player. You know, Fred, Sasso, etc. Van Dijk is not rubbish, but he's not at the level he was. I don't think he gets back to that level, personally, after seeing him this season. That injury, father time, it's a different thing.
Mhm.
But 75% Van Dijk is still decent. I don't think it's title winning, but it's still decent. And he's the leader. He's the pinnacle of your defense, right? Gomez,
Had a bad season.
yeah. And actually, it's not injury.
That happened.
But-
Ages on his side.
all right, bruv.
I'm just saying, he is rattled.
Yeah,
Because
no.
your comment is
rattled.
outlandish.
No, but Gomez, bro, that's
But
a
I guess
laugh.
the reason
bro.
why I'm focusing on centre back is because I actually think you could get by probably better with what you've got at fullback. Centre back is the area after what your destitute midfield. Centre back is the area you need to inject some new blood, some
I
new talent.
disagree.
Matip, like,
I'm
disagree.
not disagreeing with you, but I
I
don't think
disagree.
it's essential for this summer. I think next summer, then we look for the centre back. I don't think you need to do that now.
so you feel that fixing the midfield with the right person on right back puts you back in a position
Yes.
to challenge Man City.
Yes.
100%.
I think that's delusional. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
love that.
That's fine.
I think it's delusional.
You're saying that we got 4 poor
Because
centre-backs.
what's
Where you
changed?
got
I'm not
No,
saying
I'm
you
not
got
saying-
four poor. I'm not saying it's four poor
Keith,
centre backs.
Keith, I didn't say poor.
I'm not
Nah,
saying. I'm not saying it's 4 poor centre
All right,
backs.
listen.
I'm just
listen.
saying you're happy with those centre backs
All right,
moving
look,
into next season.
Question: what's changed the most between last year or the year before and this year? What's the biggest area of change where we've seen the biggest dip?
Midfield and centre back.
Midfield
No,
and
midfield.
midfield
No.
and the defense.
And
Not just centre back.
but the defense is a byproduct of losing out in the
No, you're
midfield.
making
Partially.
it. I
No,
think
that's
you're making.
That's where the problem.
The protection is lacked, but the individual circumstances we've seen over the season.
Who covers the front four?
No, I understand that. But again, if you
No, but
We can't-
I'm asking for a specific player.
we've got the midfield, but I think if you can't ignore the nuances of what we've seen over the season. So at key points, it has been individual defensive errors or lack of defensive performance that have tangibly cost you in games. So the midfield bit is a problem. But if we sat here with a show rule, we could point to serious points losses. And you're pulling it back now, don't get me wrong. But this isn't about you winning or losing games. This is about getting back to the level where you pushed Man City to 1 point of winning the league more than once and beat them once. Do you understand what I'm saying?
All right, but
That's the point I'm trying to make.
and understood. And I don't understand because we're almost close to the end. But my final say on this is this, right? We're at a point where we're Hendo's not got the legs that he used to have. Thiago's injury prone.
Yes.
Fabinho's having to do multiple jobs, and there's been talk of like off-field stuff with him, which have detracted from his on-field stuff.
You've let Ox and Kate
Right.
do lifestyle for 4 years.
Exactly. Kate he's out the door.
Ox is out.
Ox is out the door.
Ox is driving Cullen into training.
We've had to go makeshift and put Elliot in the middle, who I've said that openly, I don't think he's a central midfielder, right? So if that key area lacks, and Fabinho can't do his job, which is to protect the back four, track, do whatever he needs to, which then allows them to the defense to do what they're doing. It allows the fullbacks to bomb forward, and it allows Van Dijk to just be Van Dijk, right? If we don't have that, and now our defense is under pressure, everyone's suffering from confidence issues. What do you think is going to happen?
No. All of that makes sense. I guess so this late third drift standing, right? Your average level this season is not even like 1 step behind title. It's not even 1 step behind CL. So what I'm saying is that's a big jump to make from the average level of performance this season to going back to going blow for blow, round for round with Man City for 3 years.
But we've done that because the Klopp's first season, where was we? We just about made the Champions League, right?
His first full season.
The next season, what happened after that?
Second. Champions League.
I think your little research.
So I don't understand that. We've done. It's not like we've not done it before. We've done it under the same manager.
We'll see in it.
Why is it
I'm
now
not
all
saying
of a
it's
sudden
not
not
going to happen.
possible?
I'm just surprised at what
happened.
I'm just surprised at what you guys think it's going to take to get back there. Do you understand? I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I just disagree on what you think it's going to take to get back to that point. That's my.
It's the
that's my thing.
resurgence. The resurgence that they've had in recent weeks is clouding your judgment. I don't think you
Not
say
at all.
this.
Not
I
at
don't
all.
think you say this 8 weeks ago.
Not at all.
8-9 weeks. I don't think you
I've
say
said it
this.
all season. I've said it all season. Mainly
No, he
because
has. He said the midfield all season.
because who played more games than us last season? Who played more club games than Liverpool last season?
We played every available club
No
game.
one.
So
Every available club game we played,
keep going.
right?
So basically, you lot are tired. Next
You're
season,
still
gonna be
tired,
on
basically.
to-
No,
that's
but
all I wanna
but-
hear. I
No,
just
but
wanna
you
hear that.
They're still tired.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's what they're saying.
listen. No. Listen. All right, let's break it down because they don't understand.
Yeah,
Let's break it down.
please. Give me 1
We
plus 1.
played every single club game available,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then had a shortened rest period,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Started up the season again,
Mm-hmm.
brought in new players,
Yes. And that didn't
lost players to injuries,
Yes.
key players to injuries,
Yeah.
and then we're trying to find our way. So if that excuse can ring true for Southampton, why can't it ring true
How many
for
more
us?
games did you play than Man City last season?
How many?
I'm just asking.
I don't know, whenever they got knocked out the
When
FA
they
Cup
got-
and
they got
But it
knocked
would have
out
been
League
maybe
Cup.
give or take 5, 6, if anything.
Nah, more than that.
You played
And City have two squads compared to our one.
Well, so that leads me back to my bit.
It matters when it's you lot. When it's us, bottled everything.
No, he did say.
We did say, no?
No,
Okay.
it's fine, isn't it? Like, they think we're not going to do well next season.
No, I'm saying it could
No, that's
happen.
all I want you to say.
when-
Like, this season
Yeah.
was like, oh, just forget it, right off. All that
Next season?
kindness. Next season on job, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Are we booking
Star
it?
it.
Are we booking it?
Yeah,
Book it. No, they can book it.
Book it.
I think
Can I just point this out? Though?
Yeah.
When you lot were 7 points ahead of us, I gave all of you men an option to say
Oh, here we
you
go.
guys will finish higher than us, and none of you men took it.
What's your point?
But my point is,
When was that? When was that in the season?
it was like September, October.
Wait, why is that relevant?
I don't understand.
No, my point is, like, why
I
did
probably though. I did.
no
I
one
think I
took
did.
it. No one
I think
took
I
it.
did.
No, my point is, like, why can you say, oh, this season we would have potentially done better than you, but next season we can't when they're
That's
We're
not what
obviously
saying
gonna
that.
make
I'm
money.
not saying that.
I'm
We're
not saying
that.
you can't. I'm
We're not
saying
saying
what
that.
you think you need to do
It's
to
different.
help you get better is different.
But-
That's what I'm saying.
Marcus said that.
I'm not saying you
Mark
won't.
said if we keep that defense, we're not going to
If you
finish higher
keep
than
that
Arsenal.
defense, I don't think you're going to do well next
Yeah,
season.
and that's the difference. I personally think if we end up in August, start the season, and Van Dijk, and you've got a new centre back, a new right back, and a couple of new midfielders, it's a slightly different conversation to leaving
Yeah.
the set of defense as it is today, just getting a right back and a
Yeah.
couple of midfielders.
If you leave it as
So
it
I'm
is
not
today, I
saying-
think it's
I'll
That's-
be
I'm just saying,
very
listen
happy
to what
if
man
we
is
came into
saying.
next season with the same defense.
extremely happy.
Yeah,
I'll be happy if you guys do as well because you guys
Now
don't
we're
want
going
to
to
play
recruit.
that.
We're going to recruit.
Definitely.
Arteta
What,
knows.
two
See,
centre
the
backs?
thing is, the difference is
Arteta
we know
knows.
we need more.
He
No,
knows.
everyone
you
knows.
don't think-
Everyone knows you
Exactly,
need more.
but everyone knows you guys need more, but you seem to think that your centre backs as it is works.
We could have the same conversation in Arsenal. You speak to 3 different Arsenal fans, they will all think we need different things to progress next season. I'm just saying, I just don't agree with what you think.
No, but but my point is, we can play Matip and Gomez,
Yeah.
and then our fans won't go, oh, Gomez is Matip are rubbish, man. He's got to get out of the club. Where you, man, are celebrating
You
Holding
You
not
haven't heard
playing.
that?
You're generalising.
You haven't heard that?
You're generalising.
Wait, you haven't heard that?
But I can show you Liverpool fans.
You're generalising.
I can definitely show you Liverpool fans.
Okay,
that talk
but
about
that's not the whole consensus. Every Arsenal fan is saying, why are we playing Holding? Why are we playing? Well, you don't get that with
because he's
Liverpool.
been rubbish for
I
3
haven't
years.
said that. I said Holding was playing well.
Yeah, he did say that. He said Holden was playing well within
This
his
is the same
capability,
guy that thinks
which is
that
a
we're
backhanded
delusional.
disrespect. But we allowed
No,
it to
but Holding was playing well though.
It's
All
fine.
right,
We'll
guys,
see.
let's
innit? We'll
play
see. We'll see.
We'll see. No, but I do think it's a time of the season for these kind of conversations to just understand where everyone thinks their teams sit, where other teams sit. You know, we've got, well, Brighton got 4 games to play, but you know, everyone's within 2 to 3 games left. And I think for the next few weeks, a lot of the dust has settled. We effectively know where the title's going. The relegation will be sorted the next 10 days or so. So we're going to be having more of these conversations, probably less about our own teams, so we can do a little bit more clarity. And it'll be interesting to, as the summer progresses, who does what. I think there's a few players that a couple of people want. There's the Declan Rices, there's the Casino. Just that musical chairs this summer, it'll be interesting to see. And then the reality of it, because what you do as fans as well, if this person goes here, it's going to be that. And then they turn up there, you're like, Modric's a great example of that this season, right? A lot of fans were desolate when he didn't choose us. And he's done nothing there. For whatever reason, his fault, club's fault, whatever. So I think these combos are going to be interesting as we go forward, especially when we know who's getting relegated. Then we can take it from there. If ever... Yeah, anyway. Any more for any more, chaps?
Just quickly touch on City and Real Madrid. Should be a good game.
Mate.
Second leg.
What do you think of the first leg?
I think it was kind of punch for punch, innit? Like,
Yeah.
no one really excelled.
Yeah.
To be fair, City were playing better before Real Madrid scored.
And vice
I think-
versa.
And then,
Yeah.
that's
it was crazy,
but they were
right?
both against the run. They played
Yeah.
two quality goals. And then the other game, Inter and Milan.
At the risk of stretching it out, do you think Ancelotti gets talked about enough as a tactical brain when he is constantly won things? He does, you know, he changes his shape. His in-game management is tweaking. We've seen it many times. Camavinga played left back.
Sick.
But the narrative around him is more about his man management and his calm approach, etc. Whereas other managers do the same kind of things he does, puts players in different positions, and it's tactical this,
I
tactical
think
that.
a lot of it is that he's not doing the whole Pep theatrics, right? He's not, or the Mourinho. He's not on the sideline.
Or the Arteta.
Jumping up and down.
Doing the up and down. You come here. He's just. He looks very calm.
Yeah.
He looks like whenever the camera pans to him, he's got the eyebrow raised, just standing there watching the game, or he's just sat in the dugout just watching. He looks unfazed. He looks unbothered. So a lot of the times, well, personally, I've not really seen people really talk about his tactical now, whatever the word is, nuance, whatever. They're not now. That's it. It sounded in my head. It sounded weird, but whatever.
You're everyone to this.
Yeah, I am. I've not really seen people big him up for that, right?
Yeah. In the general, I think some journalists who are like they always talk about tactics, etc. They've pulled it out, but I know you're right. The overall narrative
is not really. Oh, he's this tactical genius. They just go.
Yeah, he's not a character, even off the pitch, isn't it? Like
that's why they.
Because he's won five leagues in 5 different countries, isn't it?
Bro.
Like
they just come in. They
that's
go.
mental.
They just go. He's a man, like you said. He's a man manager. He knows how to get the best out of the players. He's got a lot of respect in the game. Players just play well under him. You know.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
Did Haaland get pocketed or?
Yeah, I was gonna come to you on that. What are you saying?
Get out of it.
I think that's a. I don't want to say it's a lazy take, but it's an easy take out of a game like that. It's the sharpest end of the football blade. Those games there, you know, and a couple of moments of brilliance from two players. I don't even know if you could say Haaland gets pocketed. I expected the defenders at that level.
No one's chatting about Benzema. Benzema didn't do anything that game. Like,
I think because the
that's what
hype
happened.
is Haaland, though, isn't it?
I know, but I'm saying they're both elite strikers who both had quiet games. Like,
They
turn
came up against elite defenders.
He'll turn up at the Etihad.
Come on, believe. I mean, Alaba,
Big
the recovery tackle. You know, it's different now. You're playing. No disrespect to players in the Prem, but this is Alaba. It's a different story. Quality of the way through. So what are we saying? Who's going through? I know it's
Man
a bit. I'm going City as well.
I think Camavinga's the injuries to Camavinga might keep him out of the game.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be very, very.
Where's Tchouaméni?
He played last week.
He
might not start, but he played.
He almost scored.
But he probably will start because Cama will be injured.
Wasn't Camavinga playing left back? Who was
Yeah, he was playing left back. Camavinga was playing left back.
Yeah, they had him left back.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
he played
He's
there
been
a lot.
making it.
He played there a lot this season.
He's been playing left back.
Playing left back. That's why a lot of the
that's
runs he was
probably why they're
making.
saying Kefell and Mendy can leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
What do you think?
Madrid.
I'd say City, and then based on last week, Milan. City-Milan final.
I think it's going to be Madrid and certainly Inter.
City Milan?
No, I think he meant
Sorry,
Inter.
Inter. Sorry,
right.
apologies.
Hala Madrid.
1 a week, innit?
I said hello Madrid. I said hello Madrid.
Might go to penalties though. I see it being a bit. If
Sorry,
City
can I
don't
get
stop,
started? Like this hate for City, it's quite recent from you.
no, it's not hate. I'm seeing what I'm seeing in it.
Okay, I just want to check.
Real Madrid.
That's what you call bitterness.
We've got
Real Madrid.
new rivals now, innit?
Real Madrid.
We've got new rivals now, innit?
Mark, don't be that guy.
Okay.
Please. Well, again,
Famous
this might
last
be.
words.
I've never been to this. I've never been to City's ground. I've never been to their head, but it doesn't strike me as one of those stadiums like
It's not
go there
intimidating.
European night
Intimidating.
atmosphere. Yeah, it's rocking.
Yeah, it's not.
Because I was gonna say City at home, etc. But
I'm going Madrid, man.
yeah, we never talk about it as a factor. I think City will go through because of their quality, but when you talk about some grounds, Old Trafford, Anfield, etc. on a Champions League night, it's something you factor in. It's part of the thing.
This is the business end for Madrid.
Yeah, exactly.
But are you almost dismissing Real Madrid's quality?
No, I'm not. I just think they'll edge. I'm not saying City will go through easily.
Mm.
I just think on the balance of things at home, the vein of form they're in, I could see City edging it through. And then Inter, I mean, crazier things that happen. It is Italian teams, but they're tuning up.
I can't.
They got to see
them
that through.
returning that, man.
They got to see that through.
Yeah, the only
Unless
benefit
Leao's
is
back.
that
I don't know if
they're playing
Leao's
at the same
available.
ground, innit?
I'm not sure if Leao's available, but if Leao's back, I think that makes a big difference. Absolutely huge.
But the way in, I
Yeah,
think if
shell shocked
Inter
them.
apply themselves the way they did against Milan the other week, I can't see Milan.
What was it? 2-0?
Yeah, 2-0.
Scary score.
It should have been more. That was a thrash.
It wasn't 3-0.
No.
No, it's 2-0.
Yeah,
It's psychologically unstable scoreline, isn't it?
Scary
Yeah,
score
scary,
line.
man.
I mean, if Milan get one goal, obviously it's squeaky bum time, isn't it? But if they apply themselves like they did last week, Inter have got that.
Goes from the past, Mr.
No
Zeko.
away goals as well, so
No, exactly.
It's do or die.
Yeah, it's 3
Especially
goals
both
on
teams at
nothing.
home, like you just said, isn't it? So
Yeah, it's 3 goals on nothing. 3 goals on nothing.
Well, Inter were the home leg. into
Yeah.
the home
But
team.
do you think that really makes a difference?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
sitting
because
in away
the,
stadium.
no,
in a way-
because the fans,
fans,
the fans,
yeah.
75% Inter.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
you get
that's
away
why the
allocation.
stadium was blue.
Yes,
You know,
makes
next
sense.
season, I mean,
Yeah, I
next
thought
game
that
it
during
will
the
be
game
red.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's going to be interesting. All right, folks. That's another Centre Circle podcast done. We'll be back next week with more takes. We'll be around further. We'll know who the Champions League finalists are. We'll probably know a couple more, if not one more relegated team. And that Champions League European bit will shake out, and we'll see if Liverpool are still snapping on City and I mean on Man United and Newcastle's heels. All right, remember, like, subscribe, follow, share, and see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.